Live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we're on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana, 16 regions, including Sankara FM Yendi, Laura FM Laura, Radio Max Takrady, Get Radio TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. This morning, residents in Kedese staged a massive demonstration over unreliable power supply after President Akufo-Addo commissioned the rebranded American power plant in Ahomaso.
That is that we need power. We need these outages disrupt economic activities, leading to reduced productivity.
We'll hear from government, which is promising that the power situation will be stabilized when the power plant comes on stream.
And I can only thank you for the patience you have exhibited in the face of these challenges.
GNPC has then reserved capacity on that pipeline to transport their own gas for free.
And also, commercial transport operators frustrated by continuous postponement of transport fare adjustment talks as yet another meeting fixed for yesterday was postponed.
The fuel prices are still the way it is and things are still high. How are they going to cope by waiting till the next week again?
In business,
government resumes negotiations with Eurobond holders to restructure over $13 billion debt. We've got details on the Joy Business Report.
These and more coming up with me, Mami Sinyamiche Thompson. Details and now. A group calling itself Youth for Santaman staged a massive demonstration Wednesday expressing their frustration over unreliable power supply that severely impacted their livelihoods. Just hours after President Akufo-Addo commissioned the Kumasi 1 thermal power plant in the Ahomaso in the Ashanti region, while the residents lamented the detrimental effects on their livelihoods, they are also demanding ECG produces a load-shedding timetable.
Clad in red and in loud chants, hundreds of people took to the principal streets of Kumasi to demand a load shedding timetable from the Energy Ministry and the Electricity Company of Ghana.
All we are asking Nana Akufo-Addo is to give us power, that's all. Apart from that, there's nothing he can do for us. He should just give us power so we can go back onto our businesses and do whatever we want to do. That's all.
Leader of the group, Jerry James Suka, says President Akufo-Addo has failed in the energy sector. He says the mismanagement of the sector has led to the current intermittent power cuts being experienced nationwide.
The mismanagement of electrical power has resulted in frequent and prolonged power outages. These outages disrupt economic activities.
We are demanding that His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, who is paid with my sweat, who is paid with my taxes, at least have some iota of respect for the people of Ghana and especially Ashanti-man.
And Nana Boakye Dankwa with that report. Well, President Akufo-Addo acknowledging the country's power challenges for the first time assured that the Kumasi 1 thermal power plant will bring stability to electricity supply in the region when it is fully operationalized.
The challenges that the people of Ashanti and indeed of other parts of the country have had to endure in very recent time over the supply of power. And I can only thank you for the patience you have exhibited in the face of these challenges.
But will the plant receive the necessary fuel to operate? Former Deputy Energy Minister Andre Japamesa revealed that they have renegotiated a deal with Nigeria to boost the volume of gas to cater to the plant.
So if for nothing at all, moving these plants to Kumasi means that we can transport the gas and not pay for it to Kumasi to power the plants. That's one. Two, we've already had conversations with the Nigerians to increase the gas flow that we get from Nigeria to enable us to resolve some of the problems that we are facing.
And we have the money.
With fuel. The arrangements that have been put in place is for ECG to collect at least 1.3 billion cedis a month, of which 300 million will be set aside to pay for any incremental fuel that we are going to contract.
And later this evening at 6 p.m., we'll sit with the experts in the energy industry to discuss the problem with power supply. You'll be hearing from the likes of John Jinapo, Steve Mantia, Dr. Elikplim Apetogo, and Nana Mwesi VII, and more speakers. It promises to be an insightful discussion, and certainly we'll want to also hear from you as well. Do make a date at 6 p.m. tonight on Joy FM, Joy News Channel, and on all our social media platforms. Now to transportation. Commercial transport operators say they're frustrated by the continuous delay in adjusting transport fares. Some drivers have already increased their fares following hikes in fuel prices, spare parts, and a general increase in the cost of living. A meeting called yesterday by the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council to review the fares was yet again postponed after the drivers were told the Transport Minister was not available for the talks. GPRT spokesperson Samuel Amwa says the drivers are not happy.
We know the pressure that is coming from the drivers, and not just the pressure, but we also saw how the fuel price is also running up. Everything is up now. So talking to the drivers about the calling of the meeting and reschedule it for next Wednesday, the drivers didn't take it. They couldn't take it easy at all because the fuel prices are still the way it is.
Well, the union has meanwhile criticized the Transport Minister Kweku Fore-Siama for threatening to arrest drivers who increase their charges without government authorization.
Last week, Wednesday, there was an increment. The next day, there was another increment. Yesterday, there's another increment. And you keep telling the drivers that they should still wait. And should they go ahead and increase it, you arrest them. Let's understand that the vehicles doesn't belong to the government. It's an individual vehicle.
Now to Tech Thursday, Ghanaian primary and pre-tertiary students have started building robots that can compete on the global stage through the study of science, technology, engineering and mathematics STEM education. With this education having been identified as a subject that sharpens the minds of students, these kids have developed easy-to-play mobile games and are hoping to win gold for Ghana when they present the country at the 2024 VEX Robotics World Championship in the United States later this month. Ken Jesse has more.
Artificial intelligence has taken the world by storm. Through hands-on experience and guidance from dedicated coaches from Bountiful STEM Educational Foundation, these kids have honed their skills in coding, engineering, and problem-solving to sophisticated robots capable of competing at a global level. They are confident of their chances when they participate in the 2024 VEX Robotics World Championship.
So to compete with other people from all over the world, I think us as Ghanaians, we are going to do very well. We've been practicing and we've been training for so long that I think when we go there, we are really going to be able to.
So far, we've been creating robots. I've created a drivetrain, a claw bot, and then last year the competition we went, yes, I was part of the builders who made that robot, and then this year, I helped build the robot.
Now to Filth Exhibition, we take you to Nigerian quarters, a suburb of Achimota in the Okankwe North Municipality, where residents struggle with stench from an over 30-year-old dump site in the middle of the community. Here's Prince Kwame Kudogan's report read to you.
Welcome to the Nigerian quarters, a vibrant suburb nestled on the outskirts of Achimota, the Okaikwe North Municipality of the Greater Accra region. But beneath its colorful facade lies a stinky secret that has been plaguing its residents for over 3 decades. Residents continue to grapple with the consequences of a spring ground right in their midst.
The problem we are facing is that the smelling of the boiler, and then also we can create sickness, and we have families too.
Many people shit on the boiler, but you will never see them. You can't see them.
And now the Ghana Journalists Association has singled out Joy News' Erastus Asaridonko for praise for his dedication in highlighting the devastation caused by illegal mining. It follows a scathing criticism of the fraternity by business mogul Sam Jonah at a ceremony to mark the 75th anniversary of the Ghana Journalists Association here in Accra. Listen.
I would have liked to see a more concerted and sustained action from you. Sadly, that has not been the case. Galamsey doesn't make the headlines anymore, and yet the country is experiencing the ravages of this terrible phenomenon.
While the GJA admits there has been a decline in momentum, he says one man continues to stand to be counted. Joy News' Erastus Asaridonko. Listen to GJA Secretary General Edmund Kofi Yeboah.
Even as it is not to say that we have gone to sleep entirely, we have not sustained that concerted effort we had initiated earlier, which, in my view, yielded a lot of positive outcomes. But we must commend Erastus Asaridonko for holding the fort in spite of the dangers involved.
And you had GJ General Secretary Edmund Kofi Abo bringing us to the end of this morning's bulletin. I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Up next is Business on the Super Morning Show.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
No matter your water needs, Syntex has it all. Syntex tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Syntex tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Syntex tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Syntex tank. Syntex tank, stress-free. Syntex tank, reliable. Syntex tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, a strong, a tough.
Ebusiafo, welcome. I want to greet Uncle James in Germany. Since I was a child, you have promised me a trip abroad, sir. To date, my passport is still a virgin po. And then to you, baby, for that bombastic broken heart. Hey! I want you to know that latest by June, I would have won big in the Ideal Yonkopa promo.
Win up to 600,000 Ghana cedis in cash and other amazing prizes up for grabs with Ideal Yonkopa promo. Just peel, text, and you could win big. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, Auntie Araba. Hey, Bugger, how are you doing today? I want to buy Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, but I don't have enough money. So what are you going to do? Can you give me the big size? You know, as for me, I'll pay the balance later.
Today, no credit. I haven't sold much this morning. If you don't have enough money for the big size, why don't you try the 120-gram pack?
There's a 120-gram pack? Introducing the new Pepsodent Cavity Fighter in 120-gram pack size. More affordable and convenient. Get yours today from any supermarket near you. Every smile matters. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello? Yo, bro! SG Ghana has done it again. Low interest rates on loans this year too. Yatisubium.
Charlie, I did throw inside. Let me call you back.
Call SG Ghana rather. Collect loan and buy car, my guy. Low, very low interest rates on loans this year too. It's difficult to keep good news to yourself, especially when it can transform your life and those close to you. SG Ghana went low on interest rates last year, and this year we are even lower. Yes, Yatisubium. Get the money you need to turn your dreams into a reality. Visit any SG Ghana branch near you and speak to our dedicated staff about the amazing Yatisubium loans today. You can also call 0302-214-314 for more details.
Ocho, it's 3 a.m. What's now?
Yatisubium. Okay, bye. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
Alrighty then, Pafu Linguist.
Hey, good morning, Kujo.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
I'm alright.
You look very political this morning.
I know. Oh, yes, Captain Bay made this for me.
Okay.
Yes, making me look like either a pastor or a politician or some other P starting profession. Yes. Anyway. So the president says he thanks you for your patience with the power problems. Can he rely on you for even more patience in the coming days?
Can he? I'm asking you. Well, I don't think most Ghanaians have the patience right now to deal with some of these things. Every time you're on social media, you hear a story or two about the impact of doomsday and everything. So, I don't think people have the patience.
Yeah. But the energy minister was at the same program, you know. He spoke to the people in Chi. Of course, it's Kumasi, so he spoke to his people, right, in Chi. And he said, look, you have to praise people when they do a good job.
Okay.
Nkrumah did it with Akosombo Dam. Kufuor did it with Bui Dam. And President Akufo-Addo has done it with Kumasi 1. Is that what it's called? Kumasi. It used to be Ameri. They moved it from one place to another and renamed it
Kumasi 1.
Yes, and the energy minister likened that to what Nkrumah did with Akosombo and what Kufuor did with Bui, and said that Akufo-Addo should be equally praised for that.
Well. Let's see what the audience thinks about this. I don't want to say. Let's see what the audience thinks about it.
When that look of panic and concern comes on your face, like, I'm not going to talk about it. Don't worry, we will talk about it for you. Don't worry, don't you worry at all. We will certainly find out what the audience thinks of these comments and everything else that happened yesterday. Alliance for Revolutionary Change.
What's up?
Yeah, have you heard of them?
I think I have.
Yes, that's the new coalition, if you will, led by Alan Tremanting and Abu Sakara and about 7 other groups that have all come together. 6 other groups that have all come together to
the third force.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how that also goes.
You be having them?
No, we wanted to. I think we'll have to reschedule that for another time. But today we'll certainly help everyone understand, what exactly this alliance represents, what they hope to achieve in the upcoming elections.
Will they make an impact?
Yeah. We'll talk about it all. Okay, all right. 6 a.m. News was brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. Which means it's time. It's time. Brace yourselves. The Joy Business Report comes your way thanks to Omni Basic Bank, at your service.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, government resumes negotiations with Eurobond holders to restructure $13 billion debt. Also coming up, Fish Solutions projects an average inflation of 19% for Ghana in 2024, a move it expects to boost purchasing power of consumers. And later, IMF projects Ghana's debt to GDP ratio to increase further to reach almost 84% by the end of this year. Details coming up. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us this morning. Good morning to our friends listening from Kofor Radio on KTU Radio. First up, government has resumed negotiations with Eurobond holders over new terms for restructuring the over $13 billion debt. This is what Joy Business has picked up from some of the commercial creditors present at the IMF World Bank meetings. George Wiafe has more from Washington, D.C.
Joy Business understands that there has been 3 separate meetings on the sidelines of the IMF World Bank spring meetings in Washington, D.C., USA. One to these commercial creditors, the Eurobond holders, and the IMF. This is to ensure that whatever deal that they reach with these creditors and Eurobond holders are in line with the IMF program and will not result in an increase in Ghana's debt stock going forward, but rather reduce it in the long term. Sources say government is trying to use these engagements to review some of the terms presented to these Eurobond holders. Government is being forced to go through this route again after the IMF rejected an initial deal reached with the Eurobond holders and the commercial creditors. However, government insists it remains optimistic that a deal could be reached that is an agreement in principle before the end of this week or at the end of the IMF World Bank spring meetings in Washington, D.C. Ghana is trying to restructure about $13.4 billion worth of debts coming from these Eurobond investors.
George, I with that report on meetings between commercial creditors and the government as they hope to restructure over $13 billion debt. Meantime, the IMF is projecting that Ghana's debt-to-GDP ratio will reach almost 84% by the end of this year. This was captured in the latest fiscal monitor report released on the sidelines of the IMF World Bank spring meetings. Ghana's total debt stock ending December 2023 stood at 610 billion cedis, with debt ratio pegged at 72.5%. But if this projection is anything to go by, then it could mean that debt's could be going up again this year. The IMF was, however, quick to add that this projection did not factor the current negotiations to restructure Ghana's debts. Now, Development Bank Ghana has indicated that it is working to advance 1 billion cedis through the commercial banks before the close of this year. This will be advanced to some sectors of the economy, with Agric taking about a quarter of this lending. This move is part of efforts to aid Ghana's economic recovery. Benji Enchiduka is chief executive of the bank and has been speaking to Joy Business in Washington, D.C.
Our mandate is work particularly into 4 sectors: agriculture, manufacturing, ICT, and what we call high value. But the truth of the matter is our focus is primarily on agriculture. And in that respect, we're working very closely with Gersel as our partners, both our knowledge and technical partners, to ensure that we're really making a difference in the agricultural sector. Yeah.
Well, one would ask that, why Agric? Some would say.
Well, let me put it boldly. We believe that agriculture is the best way to transform the economy. It also provides support in terms of food security. It provides valuable foreign exchange in terms of being an import substitution.
Benji Enchiduka, Chief Executive of Development Bank Ghana. Face Solutions is projecting an average inflation of 19% for Ghana in 2024. This is lower than the International Monetary Fund's 22.3%. The London-based firm says lower inflation will alleviate pressure on household finances and boost purchasing power of consumers. Here's Mike Kruniger, Senior Country Risk Analyst at Face Solutions.
So lower inflation will alleviate pressure on household finances and increase purchasing power, which will support economic growth. While the March inflation print showed an uptick, this can be primarily attributed to base effects, and we expect inflation to resume a downtrend in the coming months, averaging 19% this year. I think it's probably also worth mentioning here that it's an election year in Ghana, with general elections scheduled for December. And considering the track record, really, of the Ghanaian government spending increases around election times.
Senior Country Risk Analyst at Face Solutions, Mike Kruniger. Now, the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors has described the floor pricing mechanism implemented by the National Petroleum Authority as unrealistic. The National Petroleum Authority began enforcing the price floor mechanism for petroleum products from the 16th of April. Now, responding to this, Chief Executive of the Chamber, Dr. Patrick Ofori, noted that the current exchange rate used by the regulator in price floor mechanism is less than the market price and poses a situation of losses for stakeholders in the oil marketing space.
We were expecting that at least they could have used something in the form of a weighted average of the premiums that the product were landed, in trying to give an indicative figure as to how the market is supposed to look like. In that case, you are looking at all the cost component associated with it. Another thing that is like we are tickling ourselves and then laughing is that we use an exchange rate of 13.23, which you all know that with the exception of Bank of Ghana auction, that you are going to get a maximum percentage that we will get for the market is 20% of that. In addition to even that, as 20% of the demand for dollars in the system, we're looking at can they use the average between the BOG rate and then even the interbank rate to get something closer to the market, or even Bloomberg rate, which is also internationally accepted, so that we can get an indicative value that give confidence in those who are supplying.
Chief Executive of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, Dr. Patrick Ofori. Now, the Petroleum Commission has said it is committed to ensuring players in the upstream petroleum sector deliver their mandate without conflicts with fisherfolk. Inaugurating a committee made up of various stakeholders, including security agencies and fish farmers, the Commission aims to settle territorial disputes which often arise between fish farmers as well as offshore and onshore companies. This, they believe, will enhance productivity and promote a healthy coexistence. Deputy Chief Executive Prince Abuaji read an address on behalf of the Chief Executive.
We at the Commission believe that the disputes are inevitable, part of any human interactions, especially in complex and dynamic environments such as ours. They can arise due to differing perspective, miscommunication, or simply put, conflict of interest. However, we will manage and we will continue to manage this dispute, ultimately for our collective success. The establishment of this committee reflects our commitment to fostering a culture of collaboration, respect, and fairness. Rather than allowing conflicts to fester and escalate, we are proactively providing a structured and impartial mechanism for resolution.
Prince Abuaji is Deputy CEO of the Petroleum Commission. Now, the Ghana Cocoa Board has said it is working with Côte d'Ivoire to end the perennial issues of smuggling. The issue of smuggling came up strongly during discussions at this year's Côte d'Ivoire-Ghana Cocoa Initiative held in Accra. Speaking to journalists, the Public Affairs Manager of Cocoa Board, Fifi Boafo, said the situation will be resolved by the two countries soon.
Yes, indeed. The issue about smuggling is one of the topics that will also be discussed today, because you will realize that between Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire, the whole issue of smuggling, we've been at the receiving end. When I say we've been at the receiving end, we are the two major producers of cocoa. As such, you are unable to just keep your stocks and trade at a particular point in time. So we have done forward sales. Doing forward sales, and at a time where there's very limited supply in the market, people will want to have cocoa from these two countries. And then you realize that we have commitment to people we have traded cocoa to, so we have to supply cocoa to them.
You had a Public Affairs Manager of Cocoa Board, Fifi Boafo. Meantime, Ghana and Ivory Coast have been urged to take advantage of the Côte d'Ivoire-Ghana Cocoa Initiative meeting to discuss new measures of receiving more from cocoa proceeds when global prices shoot up. Cocoa prices on the global market have seen a sharp rise, compelling Ghana and Ivory Coast to increase farm gate prices for farmers. Speaking to Joy Business, General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Carraway, urged the two countries to push for higher prices for farmers.
It will not address high food prices. It will not, because there are other factors that work into the pricing of food stuff. And one of them is just the transportation that I have already indicated. You can't take it away. When fuel prices go up, how is that going to be factored into maintaining the price? If transport fares goes up, how is it going to factor that into it? And the bad road network, So certainly we should not think too much about it, that when we implement it, it is going to stabilize food stuff. No, it is not going to happen that way. I think what we need to do is to create markets close to the country and the whole system where we're looking for these free feeding of FHS students and
That was General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Carraway. Next to Investor Eye, don't hesitate to report suspicious investment companies to the appropriate regulators such as the Bank of Ghana or the Securities and Exchange Commission. On today's edition, a senior manager in charge of the Risk Management Department of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Zakaria Haruna Baba, tells Joy Business what to do after one falls victim to a fraudulent investment scheme.
Then there's the reciprocity tactic. With that one, they'll give you something as a bait to invest, either something physical or they may even say that, okay, if you invest, we'll give you a discount payment and so on and so forth. It will surprise you that sometimes they even give things that you can get anywhere, maybe a certain soap or something, as a way of enticing you to invest with them. And then they also have what they call the scarcity tactic.
Okay.
So they will say, invest now, because they know that if time passes after listening to them, you may cool down and think properly. So they will give you some kind of agency to invest.
All right, do make a date next week for another episode of Investor Eye. Before we go, a look at the markets. The dollar going for 13 cedis 58 pesos. That's on the retail market. The pound 16 cedis 70 pesos. The euro going for 14 cedis 25 pesos. On the commodity market, crude oil dropped to $87 a barrel. This morning, gold increased by more than $12 to open trading at $2,374 an ounce. Cocoa also went up by more than $200. It's selling this morning at $10,066 a ton. There is more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. The Super Morning Show continues with Kojo Yankson and the team. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, it continues. Kofi Owusu Pepera.
Oh, he's
Yeah?
making a buzz in gospel music.
He is, yes. Is he related to our own Kweku Owusu Pepera?
I don't think so.
Okay, I would have been surprised.
But KOP sings, doesn't he?
Pardon? He does?
He sings, doesn't he? It's today's birthday.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, let's check it out. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But he sings?
I think he does. I think he does. Maybe you can try him one of these days.
I'd rather not. but if you say so, I'll take your word for it. This is Kofi Owusu Pepera with Big God. Today is Kweko Usupepra's birthday.
What a coincidence. Whoever selected
Whose
the song
birthday? Kweko Usupepra.
was in spirit.
A musician?
No.
KOP. I know.
Our
The
own
musician is
KOP.
Kofi.
Yes, the musician is called Kofi Usupepra. This is his song, by the way, Big God. Yeah. So, yeah.
No,
it's
what happens
KOP's
is that if
birthday.
you don't add the Henry, some of us, we don't connect with the
Yes.
what names.
Birthday today.
Which of them is Henry?
Yes.
Henry
Yes.
Usupepra.
Yes.
Henry Kwekwe Usupepra.
No, Henry Usupepra.
Yes, some of us will know Henry Usupepra. Even though it is on record that he was, since we've been talking about DJ 18s, he was DJ president in 78. No, 78 or 79. Is it 8 or 9?
He's
No,
gonna,
78.
He's going to send a message right now.
Yes, 78. Just 1 year before the 79.
Henry Usupepra.
Yes, Henry Usupepra.
You're misleading the people.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Please. That is what I recall.
That's an offense.
Has he disputed this one?
Mama V, do you want to be involved in this conversation?
Yeah. you want? We're talking about.
You have 40 years experience in journalism.
Yes.
Don't let us
start. No, but you see, they say old women feel uneasy
Eh?
when dry bones are mentioned in a proverb.
Precisely.
Yes.
Anyway.
It appears that the uneasiness has started.
Let's go for a drive safe campaign. At least that will save Mama V for now. Brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality and Imperial General Assurance Solid Protection. And our tip today says, do not depend on other drivers. So be considerate of others, but look out for yourself. Do not assume another driver is going to move out of the way or allow you to merge. Assume that drivers will run through red lights or stop signs and be prepared to react. Plan your movements anticipating the worst case scenario. That's a tip for today. All right. Let's say it right now, which is brought to us by Kingdom Books at Kingdom Quality and Affordability at their hallmarks. Also, Societe Generale Bank Ghana. The future is you.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
Today, I want to introduce you to a word I've actually never heard anyone else use in a sentence. Propinquity. 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 Being close to something or someone. Here's how to use it in a sentence. They sat side by side in the trotro, oblivious to the acute discomfort of the worn seats and bad roads, lost in the serene comfort of their delightful propinquity. You could also say proximity or closeness. So there you go, word of the day, propinquity. And that is how you say it right.
Okay.
But that's a word Raymond Aqua has used before.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, Raymond, he's used it right here.
Not to my hearing.
Is the way you say it, that makes it different from the way I say it, how I saw it in the dictionary.
I see. How did you say it?
Propinquity.
Well.
Yes.
Abutara.
Propinquity. Yes. I say it is propinquity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Your own is American version.
We take out like that.
You know, say it right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not easy. There's a story of a student who was laughing at his lecturer. Then the lecturer asked him to come and, address the class for just 5 minutes. And while the student was addressing the class, he was making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Then the lecturer says, you see, you think it's easy.
That reminds me of Zita Okakwe's story. Zita Okwako was made Minister of Information.
Yes.
Was addressing some students at the British British Council. Then she was, the thing was not going well. Then the kids appeared to be laughing at the woman. Then they say, you think it is easy, eh? Let me bring you up here and come and see that I can do it. You think this is easy? Then people cut that tape and say, well, look at Minister. How can you do this? How can you do this? In fact, I thought it was unfair to her, but it was how they welcomed her to the position.
But it's not easy.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
It's never easy.
Yeah, ever. All right, let's do the news review. It's brought to you by Syntex Tank. You're strong, you're tough. And Access Bank. Access Bank, more than banking. Right, let's get to it.
Let me start with the Ghanaian Times and its reporting this morning. 9-party alliance for revolutionary change to contest 2024 polls. Now, it was explained to me that the groups, in fact, because some other groups are not partisan groups.
Yeah.
So it was explained to me that there are about 12 groups in all, which is actually forming this. I was pretty much shocked when I saw Reverend S.N. Mensah, a former general secretary of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Churches. And I think he recently left the position as the president of the Full Gospel Ministries International. And he explained fully that in the last 6 years, he has been gathering others with the hope that there will be a movement that is not partisan, that has Ghana's interest at heart 100%. That will remove the convenience of a duopoly that we have in this country. That one does 8 years, the other is only lacing the boots, presents not so interesting policies, then they compete amongst themselves, they will kill each other sometimes, then still we keep changing them, as has been the case in the Fourth Republic. Just situational changes between two people. If you ask them to apologize, they will not apologize. Later on, they will say that, oh, we are happy that you have accepted doing so in a very nice way, and for your interest in keeping it. So he basically brought it home to me that if we really want change to happen, we cannot let people feel comfortable about always having the opportunity that 4 or 8 years to come and rule, no matter what they did in office, or with the pressure that no, we can come back after all. Even if we lose 1 term, 2 terms, we will come back. Hook or crook, 8 years there, we shall return. And the poverty of ideas that characterizes the contest, it is reduced to politics of identity. It is reduced to a useless contest because the rest of us appear not to have any say in it. We are just watching the system go on. As has been said before, Ghanaians vote, but they don't choose. So this is a choice to the people. Various groups, some not even partisan groups, coming together with the thinking that we want, and they adopted the Great Transformational Plan of the movement of change. So the movement of change is now one of the institutions within that bigger bracket. I've said it here, and I even advised Kojo Yansey's friend, Cheddar, to also join the group, because sometimes you might have ideas, but there are people with competence and ability that will shape it and put it in proper pedestal. If you are interested in the interest of this country, everybody knows that Cheddar will not make any impact in the election. Everybody knows that. But it will be momentous if he joined a group that's already canvassing numbers across the country. And that's the only way to fight off NDC that has established roots in virtually every constituency in this country. Then the NPP that's also having strong roots in this country. So it's not only Cheddar. Sam Anka, right?
Yes, Sam
I've seen some other names come up. If you really mean well, you can forge a nice union if the ultimate aim is annexing political power, but not just putting your name on the list.
Let me ask this.
I know they will not like it, but
let me ask this. I mean, you're so certain that what's his name, Cheddar, will actually not make any impact, and you are encouraging him to join this coalition.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're only in April, right?
Yeah.
So, will you be surprised if by the end, by the election day, Cheddar actually gets more votes than your coalition?
Well, it will be shocking. It will not be in tandem with what has been established as voting patterns, but shocking things can happen. I said I'm convinced it's not going to happen.
These coalitions too, Charlie, we've seen some before.
No, but I think that, Kojo, this is the point, okay? There are a lot of Ghanaians today, and I'm sure we'll come back to this later, but there are a lot of Ghanaians that if you speak to, they will tell you they're fed up. They're fed up with the same thing.
And I've traveled with people even within industry who are making the same comments.
They're fed up with the same
thing. You need something new, or else there's no future for the country,
and
really.
You ask the question, that's something new we look out for. Is it the new force? Many of these persons will tell you no. But there are others also, particularly the Gen Zs, who are excited about the new force. And so they may go out there and say, we want to vote for the leader of the new force.
Sir?
But these people, how many of them are willing to queue and vote in this country. Is another point.
Yeah.
And so, look, if you have Bishop S.N. Mensah, you have Abu Sakara, you may say that, oh, Abu Sakara, look, sometimes the vehicle with which you contest an election is itself what hinders your progress.
That's true.
Okay? So if you say, oh, I'm going to contest on the ticket of CPP, you may not win. But if you leave CPP, for instance, and come out there as an independent person, that in itself can actually inure to your benefit. This is the point I'm trying to make. Today, because if you're standing on the ticket of the CPP as Abu Sakara, you have to use the CPP, vehicle. You have to use the CPP structures. Really, there are no structures. But today,
where some people already in the party are pledge allegiance to other people elsewhere.
The CPP,
so they are not working with you, even though you are their flybearer.
The CPP and PNC, unfortunately, I'll say this: the CPP and PNC had become two parties that are whose members are either pro NPP or pro NDC.
Yeah,
that's what they had become, because they didn't want, there's acrimony associated with the two parties. And so what they do is that they say, oh, I am PNC, then nobody worries you. How is it possible that they have polling agents in all polling stations? They have polling station executives in all polling stations, and yet will make 20,000 votes. 20,000 votes. How's that possible?
So my personal view is that I agree with all of you on one thing. Ghana is really ready for something different. Ghana is tired of the same old. The two options that face us every time we go into the ballot box don't seem exciting to us this time around. I agree with that. The question is whether the alternatives are appealing. And I don't think this time around our alternatives are that appealing. I don't think so. I mean, we'll see how it all goes in the ballot box, but honestly, I don't know.
Anyway, now 2 UK museums actually return Asante royal objects, the ones that they are loaning back to the people. Loot and loan. Yeah, it's only British. The British people that can effectuate this.
That we do here, we conquest.
Yeah.
So this one.
What are you trying to say?
No, you understand. So this one, they are bringing it back, but they say you keep it for some time.
Yeah, but
I'm sure subsequently they will leave it here.
Oh, okay. If you insist. Now, Works and Housing Ministry invites BIS to revive Saglemi housing project. Well, hopefully that gets done.
After how many years?
Oh, so many years
and
actually.
After so for me, this is the point.
Yeah.
If we look at the state of some of these houses, they had their doors and everything fixed. Now
and people are still in left, right, center. Yeah.
So who really has caused financial loss to the state?
Well, I get your point 100%. It's how because it's nobody's private business. You get my point?
Yeah.
If it has been somebody's private business, we will work at it fully. We will fix it and get it done. But since it came out of our pocket, now President Akufo-Addo Asante inaugurated key energy projects in Ashanti region, and that's also on the front page of the Ghanaian Times anyway.
All right, the New Finder newspaper pretty much has got the headlines that you've just gone through. President commissions 150 megawatt plan to stabilize power supply in Ashanti region. Interestingly, yesterday there was a demonstration in the Ashanti region. There was the Doomsort demonstration. Really, really surprising. I'm not sure I heard anything. It was, when it was happening and our colleagues were reporting on the platform, that's when I realized that there was something like that happening. And I thought, oh, what a coincidence.
Yeah, because people are fed up.
When they were commissioning.
No, people are fed up, Mama V. Look, when you were driving to work, you saw people sleeping in paradise, in darkness.
And I had power last night, but I'm dreading how today's going to go.
Yes, so
that's what I've been thinking about.
You don't even know what happens.
Yeah,
you don't know what happens.
Because when you look at the other side of you see that they are in darkness, then you know, oh, it's going to be my turn.
Yeah,
I mean, I've heard the
so effectively, I have a Doomsort timetable. Yeah. Now I've got a hang of it. I know that, do you know
that we
get
all actually go off when we're at work, when we leave home?
Yes. Yeah. If you made a mistake, I go home early.
last time I actually went home early. I was very tired. I went home very early, and now I get home, and then the lights are off.
I can't sleep.
My goodness. In the sun. Anyway, the Daily Graphic says GJ 75th anniversary launch. Journalists must be fearless. Sir Sam Jonah. So he's called on journalists to be fearless, be courageous, and not compromise when defending the national interest. And so this is, it is my hope and prayer that you will become a beacon of truth, integrity, and national pride today, tomorrow, and for generations to come. We definitely agree with you.
We talked about the fact that we're no longer discussing Galamsey.
You know, I mentioned that in the morning yesterday, right? Yeah. That you are going to green, purport to green, launch the greening, and yet the biggest problem on our hands, everybody's going to sleep on it. The ministry that's leading the fight, I'm not even sure that the military people are on the ground again, because it's a tiring one. We are moving on, and that's what happens in election years. You are afraid that if you go there and do the shakara you've been doing the last 2 or 3 years, you lose votes. And the NPP boldly says that, some of our things cost us votes in this area. Do you think they'll do so now?
In fact, the NPP, the NPP in 2020 lost a lot of the seats in the mining areas. In fact, in the central region where Akufo-Addo won 19 of those constituencies, and the NPP won 10. The NPP parliamentary candidates won 10. Now, Akufo-Addo wins 19. His MPs win 10. And I told you that if you do the calculation, you realize that Akufo-Addo had more votes than his MPs.
That's true.
He had 200,000 more votes than his MPs. And with the NDCs and John Mahama, the NDC parliamentary candidates had 30,000 more votes than John Mahama. It is the MPP's belief that some of these things, and they've said it openly, so it's I'm not the one saying it. They've said it, that some of the things they did, particularly the fight against Galamsey, is what worked against them, particularly in the mining areas, resulting in their members of parliament losing their seats. I don't know if that's the reason you don't get to hear a lot about the fight, but the fight must go on.
Yeah, but because it's an election year, and the evidence on the ground is that we are surviving.
Well,
we have to look at how much we're spending on this tree planting exercise.
Because the whole tree planting exercise,
figures.
To be very honest with you, the whole tree planting exercise doesn't make sense when you're destroying your environment.
Yeah. It's as if you have agreed to destroy so that you can only prepare.
It is not like you have decided that you want to, boost your environment. No. In our case, we have destroyed it.
Yeah.
So it's a case of you destroying the environment. Then you turn around and say, we're going to be planting trees. And then we go around the world, we are planting trees. We are protecting the ozone layer. And we're going green. Then we're engaged in all of these things. Please, the people are destroying the environment. And let it be on record. The politicians know those who are engaged in Galamsey. They know. So they can always deal with them. Now, Ministry invites proposals for Saglemi housing project. We've talked about that. Our form first representative government in nation's history, Alan pledges. And man arranged for robbing Mrs. Emisa Arthur others. Yes,
of all the people he can rob.
Oh.
Yeah.
And apparently he allegedly assaulted her. Hit her over the head with the butt of a gun. Scary story.
Anyway, let's get to the online news review.
It is brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest. And this morning on myjoyonline.com, why should politicians take credit for VRA's work? Dr. Mantial fumes over power plant relocation. Yeah, he says that's VRA's work. Dumso, I acknowledge your patience. Challenges will be resolved. That's President Akufo-Addo thanking you all for being patient.
We were not patient. He just ignored us. That's all.
But he thanks you for allowing him to ignore you.
So when is it going to end?
He thanks you. So
endure further.
Endure a little bit more.
Now that you've learned how to endure, continue.
Keep enduring.
So Israel and Iran, what's up?
Oh, Charlie.
Very soon that'll be the cause of our problems.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought about.
Well, but to be fair, when things happen like that, just like how we are unable to produce more cocoa, and all of a sudden the prices of cocoa is rising on the price of cocoa is rising on the world market. The moment they indicate a cut in the production of crude oil,
so
it will go up.
We have formed cartel due to lack of production.
In our case,
we are boosting price.
In our case, we are unable to meet production. We're able to produce more.
That's true.
We're unproductive.
Yeah.
And because we are unproductive, there's scarcity in the of the commodity.
That's true.
And so for those who have it, in fact, those who actually have cocoa readily available to sell today, we sold ours last year. When I say we sold it last year, when we were going for the loan, we had already sold it. So when the farmers are complaining, you can understand. But the truth is that you can't get anything.
You know, we also have contracts with the people that we sell to at specific rates.
Yes, that's it.
So when the prices shoot up, we're not necessarily selling.
I'm told
at
we
the
are
market
signing
price.
contracts. We're signing contracts for the next season at $7,000. We signed contracts last year at $2,600.
Yeah.
So that's what we are meeting.
And the
And
justification
we're signing
is
new
that we have
contracts
to go
at
for loans.
$7,000.
And we are pulling down cocoa farms to make way for Galamsey.
You know, I heard Burkina.
Yeah.
Is it Mali or Burkina, one of those countries? They're actually now selling their lithium on the open market.
Yeah.
So they are no longer doing that contract thing with France and the other countries. And they are
Anyway,
making more money.
So, yeah, Iran and Israel, what's up?
Iran.
It could affect us.
Huge move. They said they made their statements with the missiles. But Israel is not taking any action yet because there are a lot of countries impressing upon them not to.
Well,
but we know
it is
that
in the interest of the world that no action is taken.
except that I'm not sure it's making any impact. It's not resulting in our doom, so is it?
Oh, I know Baba later. The president will be thanking you for your
We haven't
patience very soon.
attributed the power outages we're experiencing now
But have they
to
started?
Iran and Israel.
They've
Thank
not
God.
started.
Yeah, but they've not started, so how do you...
If they start, you know what will happen. Let's go for the BBC.
You will soon be thanked. The BBC News is brought to us by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Old Mutual, 10 years of greatness in Ghana, here for a lifetime.
We have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
You worked hard for your money, and DSTV gives you a whole lot more for a lot less than you think. Instead of one takeout dinner, how about treating the family to a whole month of the best entertainment with DSTV? From thrilling sports, blockbusters, captivating series, to entertaining kid shows, we have it all.
Totally awesome.
And with DSTV Stream, you can watch on the go.
I'm here.
Plus, you can choose a package to suit your pocket. There's a whole lot more to enjoy for a lot less than you think with DSTV.
Cadbury Rechoco is now available in a new pack. You would love the fresh new look. It's a vibe. Cadbury Rechoco supports the energy to keep you going. Kickstart your day the Ghanaian way, wherever the day will take you, with a cup of delicious, creamy, smooth Rechoco. Cadbury Rechoco, rich taste, rich identity. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you tired of the daily commute to work during rush hour? Or maybe you're planning a girls' night out and need a reliable ride. Perhaps you need to deliver an important parcel and want to get there on time. Whatever your reason for commuting, Access Bank and Uber have got you covered. With Access Bank Visa Card, you can now enjoy 30% off Uber rides. That's 30% off every ride. Use promo code Access Ride Savings to enjoy affordable, convenient, and cheaper rides even on a limited budget. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to save big on your daily commute. Visit our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com or social media today to learn more and start enjoying and saving on your Uber rides like never before. Access Visa Card, the perfect partner for your Uber rides. Access Bank, more than banking.
Talking to seafarers about what they go through to bring us our goods, the corruption they deal with, and what's being done about it.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Welcome
Welcome to the inquiry on the BBC World Service. Super strength drugs are the top killer of 18 to 45-year-olds in the US.
We're looking at things which are perhaps 100 or 1,000 times more potent than morphine itself.
They're called synthetic opioids.
The only data that we have in terms of the prevalence of use is only for Nigeria. But even Nigeria alone, we estimated that there are about 5 million people that use tramadol to get high, not to treat medical conditions.
It takes more than one country to produce them.
It looked just like a Western lab, except they were selling the ingredients for the world's most dangerous drug.
So we're asking, are synthetic opioids a global problem?
There is certainly a lot of blame passing as to who is responsible.
I'm Charmaine Cozier. Join me on the inquiry after the news.
Hello, I'm Roisin Hastie with the BBC News. Qatar's Prime Minister says it's been exploited and abused and is reassessing its role as a mediator between Israel and Hamas. He said Qatar's efforts are being undermined by politicians seeking to score points. Yolan Nell is in Jerusalem.
We'd already had the Qatari embassy in Washington complaining in recent days about comments made by a US Democratic congressman where he had basically been accusing Qatar of being far too close to Hamas and alleging that it was blocking a new deal on a truce in Gaza and bringing home more of the remaining Israeli hostages who are still held there by Hamas. Of course, Qatar rejects that completely. And when the Qatari Prime Minister, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Bin Thani, was talking, he talked only about narrow political interests that were getting in the way here, saying that was why Qatar was reassessing its role.
EU leaders meeting in Brussels have agreed to tighten sanctions on Iranian producers of drones and missiles in the wake of Tehran's attack on Israel. Today, G7 foreign ministers meet on the Italian island of Capri for talks on the Middle East crisis and Ukraine. Jessica Parker is there.
There have been indications out of the US, for example, that in terms of sanctions against Iran following the attack on Israel, they could be looking at targeting Iran's missile and drone program. So we'll have to wait to see what foreign ministers here say, because, of course, this is more of an informal forum where G7 foreign ministers get together and they're looking, I think, to try and coordinate whatever they do next in terms of a response. But what we're also hearing very loudly and very clearly from G7 foreign ministers, these calls to de-escalate tensions in the region.
Heavy rain is continuing to batter the UAE and parts of the Gulf. Flash floods have now killed 20 people in Oman and 1 in the UAE. Dubai's busy international airport is still severely affected. Votes are being counted after Wednesday's general election in the Solomon Islands. The chief electoral officer said voting had been peaceful. Phil Mercer reports.
This is the first election since the Solomon Islands began its shift towards China. The incumbent Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavare switched diplomatic recognition from Taiwan to Beijing in 2019. His main challengers, though, view China's growing presence with alarm. Its aid and investment have flowed into the mostly Melanesian archipelago since the security accord was signed 2 years ago. It caused unease in Australia and New Zealand, which have regarded the Pacific as their traditional sphere of influence.
World News from the BBC. Lawyers for the imprisoned Russian opposition activist Vladimir Kara-Murza say they're concerned about plans to transfer him to Moscow from his Siberian prison colony because of his poor health. He's due to attend a hearing in Moscow, but his lawyers said the arduous overland journey would amount to torture for Mr. Kara-Murza, who has a serious nerve condition. Scientists say the recent deadly heatwave in West Africa and the Sahel would not have taken place without the impact of climate change. Matt McGrath reports.
The Sahel, which is made up of 10 countries across the Sahara's southern rim, and parts of West Africa, were hit by a very powerful heatwave in April that researchers now say wouldn't have happened without human-influenced climate change. In Mali, temperatures exceeding 48 degrees Celsius were thought likely to have played a part in higher than normal death rates. The study shows that daytime temperatures were up to 1.5 Celsius hotter due to the ongoing emissions of warming gases, from the use of fossil fuels, deforestation and agriculture.
Washington says it's resuming sanctions against Venezuela's crucial oil industry because Caracas has failed to meet Thursday's deadline to ease its suppression of dissent. Under an agreement signed last October, the Biden administration relaxed long-standing restrictions on condition that President Maduro open up the electoral process. Since then, however, his main opponents have been barred from standing in July's elections. Police in Brazil have arrested a woman who brought an elderly man in a wheelchair into a bank so he could apply for a loan, even though he'd been dead for hours. The woman told the clerk that her uncle wanted a loan for $3,000. She moved a pen towards his hand, and when there was no response, she suggested she sign the application for him. Bank staff became suspicious when the man's head kept falling backwards. The woman's been charged with fraud. BBC News.
Cadbury Rechoco is now available in a new pack. You would love the fresh new look. It's a vibe. Cadbury Rechoco supports the energy to keep you going. Kickstart your day the Ghanaian way, wherever the day will take you, with a cup of delicious, creamy, smooth Rechoco. Cadbury Rechoco. Rich taste, rich identity. This advert is FDA approved.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning
This was after he died.
Is it? No.
Yes, it is.
Is it Me Against the World?
No.
Better Days?
No, that's a little bit.
Is it after he died? Better Days was after he died.
Yes, by a little bit. So this is very soon after he renamed himself Machiavelli.
Let me see. Yeah, old age is making it difficult for me to recall exactly.
Hey, my friend, let's move on with our lives.
Yes. Hey, sorry, would you help me out, Mama B? Since it's
rhythms,
I beg, I can't help you. Move on. Could you move on?
DJ
move on.
Agbema BSA.
See who's talking about old age now.
Anyway,
DJ Jeho, let's move on.
Today on the Super Morning Show, lots and lots to deal with.
Quickly, yes, DJ Jeho.
First of all, guys, big event tomorrow. The Joy News National Dialogue on Guaranteeing Reliable Power Supply. It's today, actually. It's today, right? Wow. Time flies. Some very, very big speakers will be heard. Michael Nyantechi, General Secretary of PUWU, Public Utilities Workers Union. John Jinapo will be on it. We'll also hear from Nana Mwesi VII, who was part of our conversation yesterday. He happens to be the Chief Executive of the Institute of Energy Security. Dr. Elik Blim Apetogbo will be there, Chief Executive, Chamber of Independent Power Generators, Ghana. It's going to be a big conversation about how to actually end this debacle.
And I think yesterday I heard Evans also mention that Dr. Steve Mantea will be part of
joining.
the conversation.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's happening today.
At 6 p.m.
Yes, at 6 p.m. Make sure you're a part of it.
We will find the solutions they are looking for
and
end the endurance
in the
so
end,
that
we
nobody will
do.
have to have any more patience. The forbearance must end at some point.
In the end, we always do. That's what we're here for.
You see, what really saddens me a lot of the times is that we live in a country where, fortunately, we know the solutions to our problems. We know what we are going through is a money problem. Finance. That's all. That's the challenge. So just get it out, and that's the end of it. Anyway.
There was a demonstration yesterday in Kumasi, Doomsaw demonstration, while the president was being praised by the energy minister for moving a power plant. The people were hitting the streets and demonstrating. You know, I mean that's pretty much it, right? He moved a generator, and they were praising him for it, comparing him to Kwame Nkrumah, who built Akosombo Dam, and Kufuor, who built Bui. Yes, they said this is Kufuor's equivalent.
You know, when the reality hits and the people can no longer endure, what happens in Kumasi happens, because that was like the last place I expected that an event like that would take place. And I didn't even get any prior notice before that.
You are talking about the energy minister's speech, right?
Yes.
Well, I have always said that sometimes we must gag Napo. Or force him to stick to a script that's supposed to be.
He was doing politics. He
was campaigning. To make him running mate, you say they should gag him.
Basically, what he was saying is that people are unhappy that this power plant, Ameri plant that the entire MPP opposed at different levels. This same Ameri plant was the one that they went to do renegotiation or something like that.
Yes.
With more problems.
That got a minister out of government, right?
Yes, and all of that. We know the history of Ameri plant.
Yes.
And we are now relocated it to Kumasi. And the minister is convinced people did not like the relocation because they hate the fact that there's something going to Kumasi. I mean, see.
So he set his own question.
Well, talking about
answering it.
Well, that's why he brought it all. Then Nkrumah has done this. This one brought this. That one brought that. That one brought that. So this is for us to.
You see, Raymond understands the real politics. The man is within his backyard. In his backyard, that is supposed to be his trump card.
So you confuse the people, right?
I'm not confused. He's actually saying, "Oh no, but let me make another point." So,
but this was a technical decision that was taken back in 2014
by the VRA.
So,
why didn't they move it? That's what the minister is saying. He said that it came during our time. All the conversations people are having about technical, it happened during our time, so we are claiming it.
Hang on, they've been in power since 2017.
But have you seen?
This is 2024.
No, but have you seen the write-up by Andrew
Ejapamesa? Yeah,
yes,
he was on Top Story yesterday.
Yes. I mean that write-up, where he says that this thing was decommissioned by DRA because we had excess capacity, and now that it is going to be so after decommissioning. You must commission it.
You must recommission.
Two things. Does the relocation solve the power outage situation in the Ashanti region? No, obviously not.
It is expected to.
What's a plant without gas?
Anyway, the plant is there.
Well,
you first give him the funds for the plant, then he will bring gas.
Okay.
It is expected to. They've done all the infrastructural this thing. Let's see how it goes.
How much do we actually spend on these fanfares?
No, for a second.
How much?
Now the relocation is completed.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will Dumso end where I live.
No,
it's not going to end.
But yesterday, the people there, where the plant went to, they hit the
same
streets.
day. The problem will not be solved. The same day, yes. So when
those
in Kumasi and the Ashanti region and neighboring towns and regions,
yes,
when are they going to have the end to Dumso?
Question for the gods.
Well, not for the energy minister.
Okay. No, we will answer that question today. 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
We'll answer that question today. And it is the best platform to put all the experts on one table so that they inform government, because government will not invite them. We know that. So we are informing them from afar so that they know what to do. Anyway.
You know, and I appreciate our speakers, because in these times you hardly find voices that speak. You know, on issues and on behalf of the citizens. So we thank them.
So it's happening at 6 p.m. Make sure you're a part of it. It's 6 p.m. will come very soon, actually. So just be patient. The president thanks you for your patience. All right. So coming up, of course, we have a conversation with GRA. They're coming to tell us a little bit about their big push for us to file our taxes. That's also happening later on the show. Stay tuned for that.
I love this conversation. I am so much in love with it. I've been urging people to do that on social media, but you know,
Kojo, we've got our banking series.
Yes.
You know our education series today. So if you don't mind.
Please, I don't mind.
All right. So here's the banking education series by the National Banking College. Today we're talking about the rights of borrowers to early settlement of loans. And that's from Section 59 of the Borrowers and Lenders Act 2020. And then here we go. Where a borrower is desirous of paying off a loan earlier than the scheduled date, the lender shall provide the borrower with the full outstanding amount to be paid and up to 20 working days to effect the full payment. Subject to any pre-agreed terms in the loan agreement, the lender may charge a penalty fee for early settlement of the loan, not exceeding 0.25% of the principal amount of the loan. However, interest on the loan shall continue to accrue until the dates of final settlement. Section 59 of the Borrowers and Lenders Act 2022 and paragraph 27 V is for 5 and 6 of the Disclosure and Product Transparency Rules for Credit Products and Services 2017. But like we always say, just log on to nbc.edu.gh and you'll get more. This is in association with Joy News.
Not more than 0.25%.
Inyo.
All right, so this and more coming up on the Super Morning Show today. Also, the president said 5 million people have benefited from free SHS. There's a story. Is it true or false? We'll tell you.
Wake up to joy, joy, joy. Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the Super Morning Show. Yeah. Wake up to joy.
Okay, so in today's competitive business landscape, a healthy workforce is the foundation of success, and that is why Equity Health Insurance has designed their corporate health plans to empower your employees and enhance your organization's performance. With Equity Health Insurance, you are not just investing in insurance, you're investing in the future of your company. Their plans are tailored to meet the unique needs of your employees, providing comprehensive coverage and income incomparable benefits. Now, their commitment goes beyond paperwork and premiums. At Equity Health Insurance, they stay with you all the way. Call them on 0501 515 124. You can try 0506 607 910 and let them serve you better. Equity Health Insurance, there for you.
And Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, PAPS, is now live at Fidelity Bank. Imagine sending money to your loved ones or business partners across Africa instantly and in Ghana cities. That's the most important thing. In Ghana cities.
Yep.
Don't wait for days for transactions to clear. No more expensive fees, just fast, secure, and affordable payments. PAPS is here, and Fidelity Bank makes sending money through PAPS easy. Visit any Fidelity Bank branch and start sending money across Africa instantly, securely, and affordably to Nigeria, Gambia, Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
Now, a polymaintained car engine can age faster. That is why we offer specially formulated quartz engine oil with age resistance technology. It's a breakthrough innovation that ensures optimal performance for your engine and improves protection against mechanical wear by up to 74%, even under extreme temperatures and pressure. Choosing quartz from Total Energies is choosing the engine oil that keeps your engine running efficiently and effectively. Quartz, keep your engine younger for longer. Younger for longer. Younger for longer.
You know, it's difficult to keep good news to yourself. That's why I'm sharing this one. Especially when it can transform your life and those close to you. SG Ghana went low on interest rate last year, and this year they are even lower. Yatse Wusubium is what SG is doing. Are you an SG Ghana customer or on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll? Then get the money you need to turn your dreams into reality. Visit any SG Ghana branch near you and speak to their dedicated staff about the amazing Yatse Wusubium. Yatse Subium loans available today. Just call SG on 0302 214 314 for more details. Offer runs till the 7th of June 2024. Terms and conditions apply. SG Ghana, the future is you.
Now, don't forget, KingdomStoreOnline.com is a portal you need to visit at least once today. Go check out the quality office essentials, equipment, furniture, and stationery that are available from Kingdom Books and Stationery. You can pay via Momo for anything you buy, and they'll deliver to your home or office in very good time. Free delivery if you're in Accra or Tema. Terms and conditions do apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
So to the businessman, trader, parent sending money to loved ones and business partners, thanks to Access Bank and PAPS partnership, you can now send money across border hassle-free. Now you can send money to pay for goods and services, make business transactions, and cover school fees across Africa without worrying about foreign exchange losses or delays. It's straightforward, secure, and keeps your mind at ease. Benefit from instant payments across Nigeria, Liberia, Gambia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone with zero foreign exchange hassle. When you send money in cedis, it will now be received in any other currency by the recipient. For more information, visit our website, ghana.accessbankplc.com, or call our toll-free 0800 004400. For all your cross-border payments, visit any of our branches and PAPS it with Access Bank. Access Bank, more than banking.
Now, you Toyota users, you need to get ready for a revolution. If you want your Toyota engine to function optimally, then there's only one choice: the Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. The Toyota Genuine Motor Oil has been rigorously tested and proven to be the best oil for your Toyota engine, specially crafted to keep your Toyota engine running smoothly and efficiently. The Toyota Genuine Motor Oil is available at all Toyota Ghana branches across the country. Nothing, absolutely nothing, makes your engine happier than Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. For bulk purchases or distribution, contact Toyota Ghana on 0302 429 801. 0302 429 801. Toyota Ghana Company Limited is proud to be associated with Joy FM and Joy News' Drive Safety Tips on the Super Morning Show. Toyota, superior quality.
And we have exciting news for you. You can now get your Omnibus Visa Classic debit card instantly at any of our branches nationwide. Yes, it's instant with new and improved features. We're talking contactless and verified by Visa. So why wait? Visit any of our branches nationwide and get your Omnibasic Visa Classic debit card today. It's instant, secure, and convenient. Omnibasic Bank at your service.
All right, it's time now for a few messages, after which we bring you sports and birthdays. Stay where you are.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfits.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data, or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN just for you. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique just for you package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Imagine a world where your home or business is powered by the sun's boundless energy. Picture your rooftop transformed into a solar sanctuary, radiating with eco-friendly vibes and city-saving brilliance. Well, dream no more. With Standard Chartered's renewable energy loans, you can turn this dream into a dazzling reality. And guess what? Our renewable energy loans come at very low rates. That's right, we are not just offering loans, we are offering the keys to your solar-powered kingdom. Say goodbye to high electricity bills and step into a new world where every watt generated is a step towards a brighter, more sustainable future. So if you're ready to take control of your energy destiny and switch to solar today, give us a shout on any of the following phone lines: 050-153-5789, 050-153-5790, 0244-674154. Let's chart a course for a brighter tomorrow and make your solar dreams shine brighter than ever before. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Ebusiafo, welcome. I want to greet Uncle James in Germany. Since I was a child, you have promised me a trip abroad, sir. To date, my passport is still a virgin po. And then to you, baby, for that bombastic broken heart. Hey! I want you to know that latest by June, dear, I would have won big in the Ideal Yonkopa promo.
Win up to 600,000 Ghana cedis in cash. Another amazing prizes up for grabs with Ideal Yonkopa promo. Just peel, text, and you could win big. This advert is FDA approved.
You worked hard for your money, and DSTV gives you a whole lot more for a lot less than you think. Ooh. Instead of one takeout dinner, how about treating the family to a whole month of the best entertainment with DSTV? From thrilling sports, blockbusters, captivating series, to entertaining kid shows, we have it all.
Totally awesome.
And with DSTV Stream, you can watch on the go.
I'm here.
Plus, you can choose a package to suit your pocket. There's a whole lot more to enjoy for a lot less than you think with DSTV.
Alrighty then. Birthday wishes on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by
MTN. Everywhere you go.
And Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner. All right, I've got a couple.
Yes, birthday going out there to you. Happy birthday to you, Alima Martha Langa of the Holy Family Hospital at Techiman. Mm-hmm. Today is her birthday.
All right, nice. I've got one. Happy birthday to Reverend Veronica Aubin. God richly bless you. It's from the General Overseer of Power Victory Chapel, your children, family, and the entire congregation of PVC. And today is also Florence Morte's birthday. Florence is a makeup artist here at Multimedia.
Oh yes, Florence.
And her big birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Flo.
Happy birthday,
Is that
Florence.
why she was calling in the morning?
This one is happy birthday to my brother and best friend, Deputy Commissioner of Immigration, Francis Pamdetti.
Oh,
yes. It's Francis' birthday. Yes.
Today
is now the half original commander. Wishing you many more years filled with joy, love, divine favor, and God's blessings. Enjoy your special day from your sister Mause.
Aww.
Francis is DCO1.
Oh, this
That's
one
nice.
day. I have to
No,
package that
DCOI,
I confirm
DCOI.
and send to him. It's been really long.
Francis Pamdetti.
I confirm from Pokey.
All right.
The base.
Yeah.
So that's where you have been having your
Interesting.
Mama V also Abuaji.
Okay. All shall be revealed in time. Happy birthday to Wasim Dean Ahmed of Japan Motors. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday. And of course, we mentioned this earlier. Happy birthday to Kweku Owusu Pepra.
Henry Owusu Pepra.
Henry Owusu Pepra.
Oh, don't do that, eh?
Channel manager of
Is that not his
Joy
name?
News. Yeah.
we have another colleague who's also celebrating his birthday today. Andrews Apia. He's a senior sound engineer.
Happy birthday, Andrews. Have a good one. All right. Are we all sorted?
Yes,
Yes,
we
pretty
are.
much. Good stuff. Okay, well, birthday. The Joy Sports Center is brought to you by
MTN.
Everywhere you go. Standard Chartered Bank.
Here for good.
DSTV.
It's your moment.
Twisco Energy Food Drink. Twisco. Power your dream. And Bet Power.
So, folks, imagine a world where your home or business is powered by the sun's boundless energy. I mean, picture your rooftop transformed into a solar sanctuary, radiating with eco-friendly vibes and CD-saving brilliance. Well, dream no more with Standard Chartered's renewable energy loans. You can turn this dream into a dazzling reality. And guess what? Our renewable energy loans come at very low rates. That's right. We're not just offering loans, we're offering the keys to your solar-powered kingdom. Say goodbye to high electricity bills and step into a new world where every watt generated is a step towards a brighter, more sustainable future. So if you're ready to take control of your energy destiny and switch to solar today, give us a shout on any of the following phone lines: 0501 535789 or 0501 535790 and then 0244 674154. Let's chart a course for a brighter tomorrow and make your solar dreams shine brighter than ever before. Standard Chartered, here for good.
And listen, MTN Momo has an app and we want you to try it. It's a brand new app specially designed to make your Momo experience easier, convenient and faster. Just download the Momo app if you haven't done so already. It's on Play Store, App Store, on your smartphone, and look out for the blue and yellow icon. It's that simple. Momo app allows you to view your statements, pay bills and do so much more. Use the app for your Momo transactions and enjoy a 100% bonus when you recharge using the Momo app. So go on, download the Momo app now and start transacting with a flex at no data cost. Just Momo it everywhere you go. Fentio?
Hi.
Morning.
Good
Yesterday,
morning. How are you?
I'm good. I just watched the first half of both games, so I don't know how it ended. I'm waiting for the details.
Well, I can tell you this. It didn't end too well for some clubs. It ended immensely for others. But I got to tell you as well, even before we get into the sports center, you see this gentleman sitting here, she's dressed all neatly.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to our producer, Adamu Bening Abdul Karim and Mubarak Haruna. Today they're graduating from Unimark. Yes. So that's why
guys.
they're all dressed up and looking
Where's
super.
Langa Langa? I haven't seen him. Okay.
Super dapper today. But good morning to all of you and welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Center with me, Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Coming up this morning.
Up comes Kovacic. And it's saved by Ludin. Rudiger to send Real Madrid through to the semis. He's done it! Real Madrid have shown their mettle once more.
That's right. Manchester City's treble hopes ended by Real Madrid, who once again showed why they are nicknamed owners of the UEFA Champions League. Elsewhere in Germany.
Away by David Raya. Danger is still there. This is Guerrero. And the free header! Smashed in by Kimmich. And Bayern Munich have the lead.
Well, Bayern Munich, they made sure there would be no English team in the UEFA Champions League final in London next month when they eliminated Arsenal and kept alive their own hopes of ending the season with silverware. That's all to come in the next 10 minutes. First, though, we start here at home, where the Court of Arbitration for Sport will next month announce its judgment regarding George Afriyie's disqualification from the 2023 Ghana Football Association presidential elections held last year. The former GFA vice president headed to the Switzerland-based tribunal after the GFA Elections Committee disqualified him from contesting incumbent Ket Okreku. Muftar Nabila Abdullahi of the Joy Sports Desk has more.
Joy Sports understands that the communication is expected on May 13 when it will be awarding its decision on the matter involving George Afriyie and the Ghana Football Association. Mr. Afriyie was disqualified from the GFA presidential election in September 2023 after the Elections Committee cited his failure to meet the requirements to be eligible to contest for the position of president of the football governing body. He decided to go to the Court of Arbitration for Sport seeking some reliefs, and one of such reliefs was that the Court of Arbitration for Sport should declare the GFA elections null and void and order the Ghana Football Association to organize the elections again. Should it happen that the George Afriyie wins the current matter at the Court of Arbitration for Sport, the Ghana Football Association would have to go through another election process where he will be eligible to contest. However, should it happen that he loses, Ket Okreku will continue as president of the Ghana Football Association.
Muftar Nabila Abdullah's report. Now, moving on, Hearts of Oak board member Vincent Sowa Odote says the club's management is disappointed in the performances of the football club in this season's Ghana Premier League. The Phobians are 9th on the league log with 35 points, 14 behind leaders Samatex, and were also kicked out of the FA Cup in the first round by Nanya FC. Odote believes Hearts of Oak should be doing much better than they are because management of the team has provided everything needed to be successful.
We are disappointed when you look at Hearts of Oak as an organization, Hearts of Oak as a unit. We have everything in place to be the most successful club in the country. We have everything in place. We have infrastructure. I believe everybody agrees that we had a very good preseason. We recruited almost everybody that everyone thought was the best in the country. But then, so our on-field results is disappointing compared to the investment that we've made. I see. So honestly, we are not happy where we are, but the league table doesn't lie. So that's where we are.
That's Vincent Sowadote speaking to Accra-based City TV. Now, Dreams FC General Manager Aminu Shadow is confident the club can take its fairy tale run in the CAF Confederation Cup to another level by overcoming 5-time African champions Zamalek in the semi-final. The Still Believe side is the first Ghanaian club in 20 years to reach the last 4 of the competition. Dreams face the Egyptian Giants this Sunday in Cairo in the first leg, with the reverse fixture scheduled to take place in Kumasi a week after that.
Everything points to the fact that if we are able to put in more effort, we will be able to make even our story even sweeter. And everybody at the club believes that it is doable. We are already making plans. We'll give it the best shot ever, and then we'll see how it goes. We have analyzed the Zamalek team. They are a great team. Historically, they are one of the giants. But I want to also believe that we are the giant killers. We've killed a lot of giants on our way, and we believe that if we are able to, execute the plan once more again, we'll be able to kill another giant.
Aminu Shadow, Dreams FC General Manager. In athletics, African Games high jump champion Evans Cardman has set his sights on qualifying for this summer's Olympic Games following his triumph in Accra last month. Cardman's winning jump of 2.23 meters is 0.10 meters short of the Olympic qualifying standard of 2.33 meters. But the University of Central Missouri student says he's altering his training regime to try and book a ticket to Paris.
Everyone is trying to qualify for the Olympic, and having achieved this height, like a new PR, it's like I'm starting from here, then next week I go here. So it's like we're going back to the drawing board. We resetting our mind, we rechanneling our focus. Those 215 bars, 216 bars, we are not focusing on that again. We are going to start practicing with the 225s, 235. So we are in our outdoor season, if you've noticed. So 223 should be, as I said, like a stepping stone. So more to come, more to come.
That's Ghanaian high jump African Games champion Evans Cadman Yamwa. Now, yesterday marked 100 days to the start of the Olympic Games in Paris, but it's worth noting that no single Ghanaian athlete has yet qualified for the competition. The 4x100 meter men's relay team has been entered in the World Relay Championships set to take place in the Bahamas early next month. Over there, the team can qualify for the Games by at least reaching the semi-finals. We'll get back to the Olympic Games in a bit because the USA has named a star-studded basketball team ahead of the Games in Paris, but it's now time to do some UEFA Champions League.
Up comes Kovacic. And it's saved by Ludin. Rudiger to send Real Madrid through to the semis. He's done it! Real Madrid have shown their mettle once more.
That's right. Man City's hold on the Champions League was wrestled away by Real Madrid as they were beating on penalties in a dramatic quarter-final at the Etihad Stadium. Real went ahead very early on through Rodrigo before Kevin De Bruyne leveled 40 minutes from full time. And despite dominating possession, City failed to find a winner in extra time. And the game headed to penalties where both Kovacic and Bernardo Silva missed for City before Rudiger sent Real Madrid through. The City defender, Ruben Dias, says it was just not City's night.
There we fought. We had our chances, but yeah, I guess it was not our day. Well, like I said, we had the chances, and sometimes the ball goes in, sometimes it doesn't. But we now have to look forward to what's still to come in the season.
Ruben Dias. Now for Real Madrid midfielder Jude Bellingham, who converted his penalty, he attributed Real's victory to the team's great mentality.
It's incredible, really. I think, today, and a lot of the games we play this season, you can look at moments where it's like moments of brilliance, moments of magic, and then today I think it just comes down to mentality, really. It's a matter of running, not to track. So I think when you get those details right and then you have those little moments like the penalties where the lads can kind of keep their cool, then it's a great mix going forward, and we've got a great team for that.
In Germany, Arsenal, they suffered a painful exit from the Champions League, losing 1-0 to Bayern Munich to exit 3-2 on aggregate. Joshua Kimmich scored the winning goal in the 63rd minute to send Bayern through. The Bayern striker Harry Kane says to still be on course to win a title this season feels great.
Yeah, unbelievable win. It's been a tough season for us. We've had to fight and really grind at times, and today was that. We knew it was going to be a tough game. We knew at home we could make the difference with our fans there, and it was what we expected. A tough game, a tight game. Great goal from Josh to make the difference for us, and then it was about defending and keeping that clean sheet. So to reach the semi-final is a great achievement for us, and we can enjoy this one.
Bayern, they will meet Real Madrid in the semi-finals, while Borussia Dortmund take on Paris Saint-Germain. Now, last night's results mean there will be no English team in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and significantly, none will participate in the final set to be played at Wembley Stadium. But it could go from bad to worse for the Premier League, who will lose their 5th Champions League spot for next season if Liverpool and West Ham do not overturn their quarter-final first leg deficits in the Europa League to progress to the last 4. West Ham host newly crowned Bundesliga champions Bayer Leverkusen, trailing 2-0 from the first leg. And Liverpool take a 3-0 deficit to Italy for their second leg encounter against Atalanta. Now, just before we go, though, Juventus have been ordered to pay Cristiano Ronaldo £8.3 million in owed wages by an Italian court. Ronaldo agreed to defer the wages when football in Italy was halted by COVID-19 in the 2020-21 season. The Portuguese had claimed he was owed more than £70 million by his former club, but the Court of Arbitration for Sports said the club should pay what the player would have received after tax and other deductions. That's all the sports this morning on the Joy Sports Center, and we'll end on the note that the USA have named a star-studded team in their basketball team for the Olympic Games. You have to note that the USA have won each of the last 4 Olympic gold medals in basketball, and they've won 16 of the 19 Olympic gold medals available in basketball, and the team is rich. Kevin Durant is in there. LeBron James is making a return to the Olympic team for the first time since 2012. Joel Embiid, Steph Curry, of course, is also in there. Steve Kerr will be their coach. It's a star-studded team. Details on our website, myjoyonline.com.
Thank you very much, Fence. And social media messages on our show brought to us by EcoBank, A Better Way, A Better Africa. Mala 2 from NS Chemist for the effective treatment of malaria in both adults and children. When the pain is too much to bear, grab Rapinol, the rapid pain reliever. Uncle White will join us after these.
Across Africa, a new era has begun. Shifting our focus to a new horizon, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Today, we are making a brighter tomorrow, built by our dreams and our energy. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.
Cadbury Retroco is now available in a new pack. You would love the fresh new look. It's a vibe. Cadbury Retroco supports the energy to keep you going. Kickstart your day the Ghanaian way, wherever the day will take you, with a cup of delicious, creamy, smooth Retroco. Cadbury Retroco. Rich taste, rich identity. This advert is FDA approved.
Wake up. Good morning. Good morning.
All right, time for us to bring you food for thoughts with our favorite uncle, Uncle Abel White, who joins us. Good morning, Uncle.
Gorgeous, good morning, and how are you doing?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. How are you? How have you been?
Well, I've been good. I've been good. I'm trying to be a good boy, so.
I've seen your signature all over. Kojo Singh is looking really nice today. Curtsy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Ahofe, how are you?
Oh, no. So, Kojo, please, can somebody get me Kojo Yankson? Kojo will come. Uncle, Kojo is coming.
He's out of coverage area for now.
Yes, but I'll get him. I'll grab him.
Okay, great. Mavi, I'm going to try something. See how you like it.
Okay.
All right. Dear listeners, we suspend regular programming to bring you breaking news. Reports reaching the Food for Thought desk of Joy FM Super Morning Show this morning is that decency, the force that keeps society sane and safe, was violently attacked in public by a group of young people wielding the latest technological gadgets and has been rushed to the hospital. She is on a life support system, and doctors say that her chances of making full recovery are 50-50. The team of doctors attending to her, made up of doctors Mamavi, Kojo, Winston, and Raymond, say that they will do their best, but have also called for prayers from those to whom decency means anything. According to eyewitnesses, decency was going about her business of protecting society and giving society its health and sense of meaning when the young people attacked her. Police have not made any arrests yet, although the attack was public. In their defense, police say that the public is refusing to cooperate with the investigations and that people seem to be afraid to expose the assailants of decency for fear of being cancelled. Decency has spent all her life working tirelessly for cohesion, unity, and prosperity of society and common sense. With decency now desperately fighting for her life, it is unclear how society is going to survive should the worst happen. Many people who know decency and have benefited from her impact have been speaking out in her support. Samuel Delaney, multiple award-winning writer, said, quote, "Decency is like the barometer to a man's or a country's health," end of quote. He is sure that you can tell the future of a person or a nation just by checking how decency is treated. His view is supported by others. Tom Steyer, an American billionaire investor, philanthropist, and environmentalist, said, quote, breaking of norms and disregard for decency have huge long-term costs, end of quote. Tom's view of decency is also backed by Cory Booker, the first black U.S. senator from New Jersey, who said, quote, small acts of decency ripple in ways we could never imagine, end of quote. Speaking on the importance of decency, Raja Krishnamurthy, the first Indian American to serve as ranking member or chair of any full committee in the U.S. Congress, said, quote, when the norm is decency, other virtues like integrity, honesty, compassion, kindness, and trust can thrive, end of quote. In other words, when decency is out, you can forget about integrity, honesty, compassion, kindness, and trust. To this, Aldous Huxley, English writer and philosopher, added his voice and said, quote, the thin and precarious crust of decency is all that separates any civilization, however impressive, from the hell of anarchy or systematic tyranny, which lie in wait beneath the surface, end of quote. He was referring to the role decency plays in saving us from our inner demons and aligning us with our better angels. Every one of us, and indeed every society left to its own devices, will descend into decay and anarchy. Anyone can cross the line into what is unacceptable and what is vulgar and shameful. It is the influence of decency that holds us back from disgracing ourselves and destroying society. Adding his voice and support for decency, Barack Obama, the first Black American president, said that decency together with sacrifice create the kind of ripple effects that lift up families and communities and spread opportunity and boost the economy. Kiran Bedi, a former Indian tennis champion who went on to have 35 years of distinguished service in the Indian Police Service as the first woman to attain senior officer rank in the service, said that decency together with ethics and morality are the real soldiers. She did not mean soldiers in uniform, but soldiers for the soul of individuals and of society. After the violent attack on decency, many people were left asking, how did we get here? How did we get to the point where what we need most for society to function optimally is what we attack so viciously? I put the question to someone in the position to know, and he said, quote, it began when decency was disrespected and no one spoke out for her. It began when we respected people for how much they had and not for who they were. It began when we applauded people for possessing what we knew they could not afford, and we failed to ask how they came by what they could not afford. He said the battle against decency was strengthened when people who should know better continue to give various platforms to people who have no business being put on a pedestal, end of quote. He continued, decency has nothing to defend herself with. Decency's strength is her vulnerability, and her protectors are the members of the society that she serves. If the society fails to fight for decency and defend her, decency simply disappears. Decency is on life support and fighting for her life in Ghana. Pictures that should never have become public are on social media. Dirty secrets that should have stayed secrets are now what is trending. Feuds that should have been fought in private are now being fought in real time and on the electronic gadgets of hundreds of thousands. Decency is on life support, and the question is, are we prepared for a society in which decency is dead? Do we know what we are asking for? How is it that we have allowed indecency to grow so loud and proud and act with such impunity when we treat decency as if it does not matter? For Joy Super Morning Show, this has been Uncle Ebo White reporting from the Food for Thought desk. And gorgeous.
That's the breaking news.
Yeah, that's the breaking news.
No, I like it. I like the style. And you touch on something that is really crucial: decency. Yeah.
We are trying very hard to kill decency in Ghana, and I'm not too sure we know the implications if decency vanishes from Ghana.
Well,
Uncle Ebo, good morning.
Oh, somebody who's looking really decent today.
Handsome. I've heard about you.
Oh, good. I'm glad the news has reached you.
I've heard that you raised the bar very, very high.
Papa, the bar is now not visible from Earth. Captain Bay has sent me into the stratosphere.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And Uncle Ebo, I told him that he could actually make it with this look on the ballots.
Hey, which ballot?
The national one, and he would easily get our votes.
I beg you. At this point, if they vote for me, it's just because they don't like the options available.
Oh no! On the other hand, it will be because we know what we are voting for.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
no,
nice.
With you, we know what we are voting for.
That's right.
We are voting for intelligence. We are voting for wit.
Yeah.
And every now and then, we would also be voting for a bit of Nkwajasem.
Small as Oh, Uncle Ebo, by the way, thank you on behalf of the whole team. We thank you so much for hooking us up with Captain B. He's really made us look good. We appreciate it so much.
Well, you're welcome. Now that you say it in the presence of Gorgeous, we'll have to find something for Gorgeous.
It must happen. She has been campaigning for it for some time now.
So, I need to be fixed.
She wants to be running mate.
That won't be bad.
Yeah. So Gorgeous, enjoy the weekend, and could you know, as usual, it's always painful to say I miss you.
Oh, but anyway.
And I say all the reluctance that I can muster.
As the president said, I thank you for enduring the pain.
There we go. Uncle, have a fantastic weekend too, and I'll love to Auntie Florence.
All right, bye.
All right, that's Uncle Ebo White with Food for Thoughts, brought to us by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. Uncle is back on Monday with another Food for Thoughts.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
All right, we're talking about the Joy News National Dialogue today on guaranteeing reliable power supplies. It's 6 p.m. today on Joy News, on television, on Joy FM, of course, on 99.7 and on myjoyonline.com. We've got our friends from the GRA joining us later this morning. We're talking about tax and good governance. Join our conversation by sending us WhatsApp messages to 055-1111-997. You can also join us on X. Just post your messages there, Joy997, and always add the hashtag JoySMS. Social media messages brought to us by EcoBank. A Better Way, a Better Africa, Malatu from Ernest Chemist for the effective treatment of malaria in both adult and children. When the pain is too much to bear, grab Rapinol. Rapinol is a rapid pain reliever. But you know, we face different emergencies. Hopefully today you have no police, fire or medical emergency. But if the emergency has to do with money, then we've got a quick solution to that. It's all in star 770 hash. Star 770 hash is the EcoBank money emergency number, and star 770 hash gives you instant access to loans, fund transfers, utility payments. You can buy airtime, data, and do so much more. Even without data, you can access star 770 hash. Star 770 hash. So there's no need to panic when you find yourself in any money emergency. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial star 770 hash for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank is the Pan-African bank.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
And it's 8 o'clock now. Time for us to bring you the Business Minutes, which is brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and Waika Recapital together towards tomorrow. Here's the Business Minutes.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and Waika Capital together towards tomorrow. Government has resumed fresh negotiations with Eurobond holders over new terms for restructuring the over $13 billion debt. This is what Joy Businesses picked up from some of the commercial creditors present at these meetings. Meantime, the IMF is projecting that Ghana's debt to GDP ratio will reach almost 84% by the end of this year. Development Bank Ghana has indicated that it is working to advance 1 billion cedis through commercial banks before the close of this year. This will be advanced to some sectors of the economy, with the Greek taking about a quarter of this lending. Elsewhere, Tesla is again seeking to award boss Elon Musk the biggest pay deal in corporate American history, worth $56 billion. And that was the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and Waika Recapital together towards tomorrow.
Super Morning Show. Wake up. Good morning. Good morning.
Keep this frequency clear. 99.7. It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town. Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
How do we guarantee reliable power supply? Join us at 6 p.m. today on television, right here on radio, and on myjoyonline.com for our national dialogue. We've got some great speakers on the bill. And we're talking tax and good governance with the Ghana Revenue Authority here on the Super Morning Show today. We need you to join us. If you've got any tax questions on your mind, why don't you send us WhatsApp messages on 055-111-1997. Also post on XJoy997. And you know what to do when you do that. At the hashtag JoySMS. You can also send us messages on Facebook and we will share with the rest of the world. Big stories brought to us by Telecel, Connecting Energy's latest film, Your Partner for Life, and Equity Health Insurance here for you. So you're about to have the world at your fingertips because the wait is finally over. Telecel is here. Now you have everything you want and need. Quick and reliable communication, stress-free money transactions via Telecel Cash, transforming your big business ideas into success stories with Telecel Business and more. Connect with Telecel and enjoy a world of endless possibilities because with Telecel, there's no limit to connections. Telecel, Connecting Energies. And if you're looking for your perfect sofa, there's a destination where you get the right sofa, also in a color that you absolutely love, and it's Latest Foam. Your dream sofa is waiting for you at Latest Foam. They've got the sensational V sofa range where comfort meets style at prices that will make your heart skip a bit. So just go into Latest Foam showroom, and they've got a lot across the country. And then you can dive into a world of colors and choices. The sleek L-shaped V sofa will cost you only 3,100 Ghana cedis. You can also grab the complete V sofa set for an unbeatable price of 6,500 Ghana cedis. So here's your opportunity to elevate your living space with Latest Film, your forever partner in comfort and luxury. Harry, your perfect sofa awaits. Latest Film, that's your partner for life.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Anointed Engineering Services Limited is into sales of ultra-silent generators. They sell from 5 kVA to 2,500 kVA. They also undertake maintenance and repairs of all kinds of diesel generators. It's a good time to grab generator, but you need to get it from a good source, a guaranteed source. So just go to Anointed Engineering Services Limited and they will sort you out. They stock genuine spare parts of all kinds for various generators as well. And then they also rent generators. So maybe you don't want to buy a complete generator. You need it for something really important. Anointed Engineering Services Limited. They've got the solution. They have branches nationwide. Locate their latest branches in Amrahia. Frims Oil on the main Adenta Dodowa Road. That's where you'd find them. Also in East Legon, Lagos Avenue Road, opposite Tom Rick Hotel. They are in Tema also, the Tema General Hospital Road, Community 9, just after the overhead. You would find Anointed Engineering Services. They are also in Kaswa, off the Wager Kaswa Road near Simaf Cement Depot. And Odoko, that's where the head office is at number 77 Anointed House off the Odoko Malam Road in Accra. But it will be good for you to call their hotline, discuss your issues even before you go to them. So 0243 480 334. 0243 480 334. That's their hotline. Get in touch with Anointed Engineering Services Limited. The generator experts. It's 6 minutes after 8 here on the Super Morning Show. It's your big birthday today, Florence Morte, one of our makeup artists, one of my favorite makeup artists. Really enjoy your big birthday today. God bless you. You deserve every happiness. So do everything some today, Florence. Enjoy it. Oh, we're talking this at 6 p.m. Get ready for the Joy News National Dialogue today at 6 p.m. on television, on radio, and on myjoyonline.com. We're talking about guaranteeing reliable power supply.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
And our speakers include Michael Nyantechi, his General Secretary of the Public Utilities Workers Union, PUWU. He will be on at 6 p.m. alongside John Jedapo, Ranking Member, Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament. Also on the bill, speaking is Nana Amwesi, the 7th Chief Executive, Institute of Energy Security. And then we'll have Dr. Elikplim Kwabla Akpetogbo, Chief Executive, Chamber of Independent Power Generators, Ghana, also joining the conversation. Dr. Steve Monteil will also be on the bill. So please join us at 6 p.m. on Joy News on television, on Joy 99.7 FM, and on myjoyonline.com. We're talking to the Ghana Revenue Authority on the Super Morning Show today. If you have any concerns, then this is the time. We're talking tax and good governance. You're welcome to share with us your thoughts on 055-111-1997. That's our WhatsApp number. And also post on X and add the hashtag JoySMS. You can also send us messages on our Facebook page. We've got insurance today coming up shortly, but good morning to you, Fifi Taki.
Keep the frequency clear.
99.7.
Let's bring you Insurance Today now. Is brought to us by Enterprise Insurance at 100, celebrating our legacy, securing your future. Oh, maybe not. Insurance Today will come your way a bit later. But this is the Super Morning Show. It's 9 minutes after 8 on Joy 99.7 FM.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
You are listening to me on the radio. I know exactly what you need, and I go sort you out. But first, quick introduction. Maybe the connection man. I'll make things happen. Whether it be business, fashion, or the latest trend in town, I go connect you. I know when people connect, big things they happen. I am the plug to your plug. Anything you want, that's sorted. I go show you where options they line them up for you. You want download or you want stream? Link up. I got you. I conquer everywhere. From Circle to KJT. If you come out to Navrongo, Jiosu to Kita, Techima to Kumbungu. I'll be the link between you and the next big opportunity. It be me where I go connect you, make it happen. Oh, you want to know my name? I am Telecel.
Switch to Telecel for the best value voice and data services and connect to the things that matter. Connecting dreams, connecting goals, connecting passions.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Hey, Cashman.
Yeah.
Don't you know Nana has assembled all of us and you are here making calls?
My generator is spoiled too. So I'm calling a renowned Ghanaian company with an excellent track record in the sales and repairs of generator sets in Accra to come and repair for me.
Oh, is it Anointed Electricals?
Yeah.
Anointed Electricals deals in quality and genuine generators with high fuel efficiency. We also rent generators.
They sell quality generators from 10 kVA to 2,500 kVA. They have spare parts of other generators and can repair every 40 generator set even if you didn't buy from them.
Look, now we don't have any electrical problem in Accra.
Oh, how?
Because Anointed Electricals is right here at East Legon, Lagos Avenue, opposite Tomric Hotel.
And that's why Nana is calling us. Okay.
Yes. If you want to buy a brand new generator or repair the old one, visit Anointed Electricals. Or if you are within Accra, call our hotline 0246 423 534
or call 0243 480 334. They have qualified and dedicated men on 24-hour after-sales service. Then let's go and listen to Nana. Let's go.
Gosh, after giving you the hint, won't you give me anything?
Anointed, the generator experts.
Waikari Capital. We are a multinational fund management company regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Our aim is to help our customers thrive by enabling them to achieve their lifetime financial goals while investing their funds in ways that create a positive future for them, their families, and their businesses. In this way, we help them to create the best life. Speak to us today. Call us on 050-157-7546 or 050-157-7547. Visit www.waikaricapital.com. Waikari Capital, together towards tomorrow.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Best believe it, it's 8:13 on the Super Morning Show. And we've got lots to talk about. Now, before we came in with the birthday messages, by the way, I have another one that I'll share with you in a moment. But before we came in the birthday messages, I asked you a question. I said the president says that 5 million Ghanaians have benefited from free SHS, and is it a fact? Is that true? There is a story that fact checks it, but thankfully, the head of fact checking is here with us himself. Raimondo, where are you going? Okay. Anyway, he will make it quite clear for us whether or not it is true.
So free SHS started in 2017.
Yeah.
And by end of the admission process in 2023, we had the highest number of students being admitted. That's 503,000 students being admitted under the free senior high school. Now, for purposes of emphasis, if you want to be charitable and you decide to multiply 500,000 by 7, that takes you to 3.5 million.
That is even if you assume that every year
If you assume every year is 500,000, that's 3.5 million. So where did President Akufo-Addo get the 5 million beneficiaries from?
I think his microphone was off when he was saying the 3 point. So only
No,
the
but
5 came
even
out.
for purposes of argument, the Free SHS Secretariat quotes a number totally different from what the president says. Not even up to 3 million have benefited from free SHS. So what's the president's definition of beneficiary compared to that of the Free SHS Secretariat and the reality?
Maybe he counted their parents as well.
No, certainly not.
You
We'll talk
see.
about that.
Anyway, well, yeah, we'll get into that and more on the Super Morning Show. That's not all we're concerned with, obviously. Kumasi was the hive of action yesterday. Not only was the Ameri plant moved and renamed, but also there was a demonstration at night about Dumso, which is a big problem in Kumasi. The president, by the way, thanked them for their patience, but they didn't seem to carry that patience. Thanked us all for our patience, but the Kumasi people's patience ran out that night, and they went on demonstration. Thoughts?
Yes, I'm hoping that it will not leave it that I'm thanking you and that the problem will be fixed immediately. In fact, later on today, which is 6 p.m., we shall put together, and sometimes people get confused. You'll be hearing from different quarters and different sections of groups or in different institutions. For example, the recent battle between ECG and Greco, ECG, VIN, PURC, all of them. So, you see, they are
independent power producers.
That's true. Versus ministry. Then those conversations, they are useless so far as the main issues are concerned. Kojo, you pay for power. The expectation you have is that just like you pay for MTN data, you expect supply. No excuses. No, you pay it, but we can't give you in the morning. Imagine we were supposed to be having that kind of supply where your data only works 6 hours. The next 12 hours, it doesn't work. You see the kind of uproar that we have. We have given the energy sector a lot of leeway. It's as if we are perhaps the most understanding set of people in the world. So we are okay. Now we have formed our own timetables because mindful of the fact that I had power last night, I'm so convinced unless something extraordinary happens that tonight they will take their power away. You get my point? So it's a timetable I have in my head because they won't provide the original one. What the people demand and deserve is the truth, backed by a proper plan. We are not getting that kind of truth and the plan allocated to that. So if there was no Ameri relocation, would the president have been talking about people's forbearance? Would he have been interested in thanking us for being patient with the system? Was he not aware all this while? Maybe a statement from him could have calmed people and said, listen, I'm aware of your difficulties, but why would they have to wait till this time? If there was no Ameri relocation on the horizon anytime soon. And we are complaining because the man was taking us for granted. Your energy minister was acting as if he didn't care. In fact, at a point, he was telling everybody that go and put up your own timetable and all of that.
And that we are evil for asking for a
So
timetable.
we expect somebody beyond him.
Thanking us does not explain the matters to us, and it does not give us any sort of hope.
I am convinced today that they are not willing to do that. That's why the best platform is at 6 p.m. At 6 p.m.
Right
when we do that particular engagement with the relevant players in the sector, they will speak truth. They will tell us the reality so that people can even plan their lives around that.
Absolutely.
Businesses will know that this is how long it's likely to be so that now you retune your production along these lines. Those are the things that are important to people. Not merely saying, oh, you are patient. We thank you for being patient. And we have done wonderful work by relocating things.
Anyway, so please don't miss it. It's on Joy News and Joy FM at 6 p.m.
And on my Joy Online.
And on myjoyonline.com. All right. Now, also today, our guests from GRA will be here. They have a very important conversation I want to have with you about filing your tax returns.
Tax and good governance.
Can an individual like Raymond Akwa wake up one morning and file his taxes without any help?
It's a good question.
Do that online? Yeah.
That should be the goal of the GRA. That should be the goal, to get us to that point.
Assuming I know nothing about taxes.
No, it'll be difficult for you too.
Yeah. That's the difficulty. That's to me is the core of it. I think that people may be genuinely interested in even avoiding all the dangers that comes with not complying with the law.
Yes.
But
How to do
I have
it
to recruit
is a
Winston. I have to recruit somebody to help me out. That's also another cost I have to live my life on.
Yeah.
But if there's an not FAQ, a system that walks you through it. So you open the form, then the form says fill this one, this, and then put in this. Can you upload this receipt to it, and all of the other connections. Then you file, and you're able to go through that process without third-party help, which become with payments.
Yes.
I think it will be easier, or we can allocate somebody to you. That, let's say this block, we give you Mamavi as your customer service person. On Tuesdays, Kojo, if you are in the week of filing the tax, Kojo, go to Mamavi, sit with Mamavi. It's for free.
Yeah.
2 hours. She'll help you out on 100%
But
of
even
the way.
going to Mamavi should be secondary. That is if I have some difficulty
That's
using
true.
the fundamental interface that we should all be able to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're looking forward to that conversation with the GRA.
And those of us who like freebies, the benefits of filing taxes.
That's right. You want to do.
Well,
There
I
will be
mean,
waivers and things like that.
there are rebates actually, and so
Yes.
you can also, if you want to, you can get tax reliefs. While you're filing, if you qualify. You qualify actually.
See
that she's taking care of kids.
So you tell me how.
No, you are
right?
taking care of kids, right?
Yes.
2, you might take care of elderly people.
Yes, so she qualifies.
And if you contribute to a worthy project in society,
yes.
So that's why sometimes you need to keep those receipts, even though you are doing it for God. Keep those receipts because it may be deductible.
You might be able to deduct.
Yeah, but because we are people,
You
sometimes we don't.
you have to say that more. Some of us, we need to hear it.
Oh, you do qualify. I'll tell you the other things.
It encourages
But the problem is that before the people explain to you that you qualify, they will take money and do consultancy. See, that's the problem. That is why.
No. As for but that one you see, Raymond,
I know it's somebody's job. I know
it's somebody's job.
Yes,
it's somebody's job
right now.
It's somebody's job. But the point is that even me, if I'm going to file and I go to file, I mean, sometimes I'm actually reminded, to be very honest with you, my tax office in Adenta reminded me that it's April and I had to come and file my tax returns. So they'll remind you that sometimes you forget, and if you forget, Charlie, you see the problem. But it's good that we're having that conversation today. You get to benefit, Kojo. You have dependents too. All of us have dependents. So
the reason why I qualify is that Meble.
But talking about the Doomsaw conversation, also joining the conversation with Kwame Jantua. Yes, Kwame Jantua also joined the conversation.
Yes.
And so
he's been a player in the sector.
Yes,
for
we need to
many
acknowledge
years.
that. But today is the birthday of Lorinda Brace. And so your husband, Cedric Kwamina Brace, says, I feel so lucky to have such a beautiful and caring wife like you, honey. I wish you so much happiness on your birthday. I love you so much.
So it's not Kojo Brace.
No.
When you
Kojo's
said,
brother.
I thought I was going to say Kojo.
I said Cedric Kwamina Brace.
I know, that's
All
why
that
I
I heard
paused.
was brace. And the only braces I know is Kojo braces.
Propaganda.
Anyway, also
and
happy
Hanta
birthday
Pele.
to Ethel Ann Komlaga. She's the executive director for Enterprise Bureau. It's your birthday. It's from Eben of Joy Business. He wishes you a very good one. I think it's time for us to get this thing on the road, right? Okay, so we're getting into it right after these messages.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts as Adansi Travels and Joy FM are about to take you on an adventure of a lifetime. Imagine yourself soaring high with your favorite drive time program in the heart of South Africa. Starting from the 3rd of June, join me, Lexus Bill, and the Drive Time team as we dive into the soul of South Africa. Starting at an exclusive promo rate of $1,390, you get to choose your adventure. Whether it's the urban pulse of Joburg or the thrilling Sun City, we've got you covered. But wait, there's more. Be part of history and join us at the Legends and Legacy Ball at the Santin Convention Center, celebrating the iconic Yvonne Chaka Chaka. Call Adansi Travels now on 0595 500 817 or visit www.adansitravels.com to secure your spot. Remember, it's more than a journey. It's an experience that will stay with you forever.
Are you a corporate organization? E-commerce business, individual or student, looking for a trusted courier company where you can track your package and receive SMS alerts to keep you posted? At IAS FedEx, we move your documents and parcels with care to the destination of your choice. With offices across the nation, we happily deliver your package to your office or the comfort of your home. With the assurance of safety and affordability giving you peace of mind, IAS FedEx has your package in good hands. Call us on +233 501 605,000 or +233 501 631,000. IAS, licensee of FedEx.
There is time for everything, including exclusive breastfeeding by mothers, which starts within the first 30 minutes baby is born till the time the child is 6 months old. Grandma,
Grandpa,
husbands.
Let's all come on board Good Life and insist that our child takes only breast milk for the first 6 months. No food, no water, no gripe water.
Breast milk has all the nutrients the child needs to grow strong and healthy. So I ask, how is your good life?
Remember that exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months is best for baby, and good growth starts with right nutrition at birth. Good Life, live it well. It's an everyday thing. Good Life from Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID.
Hey, welcome back to work.
Charlie, thanks, bro. Thanks,
the
bro.
malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. Hey, fever, headache, vomiting, loss of appetite. I couldn't even eat my usual fufu.
You and fufu?
How we go do it?
I hope you got tested before the malaria treatment.
Oh, yes, I did. And thanks to Malatu, I kicked out malaria one time.
Sharp. Anyway, sorry to ruin your excitement, but your boss asked of you.
Okay.
She says she has plenty work for you.
No problem, Charlie. Strength day.
You see,
When malaria strikes, take Malatu, containing Artemether and Lumefantrine. Comes in tablets and suspension for the effective treatment of malaria in adults and children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Malatu is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Imagine going to your favorite wache joint and Amalia tells you, Boss, wale is finished, curry is finished, and shit or cry is finished, so that thing can pain. Now compare that feeling to having everything you want on your wache with lay, gari, and plenty shit or peche like that. Just like that soche wache, that's exactly what Aquaba Magic gives you. Enjoy rich Ghanaian stories like the second season of the legendary Inspector Bediako, the captivating Madame, and so much more on DSTV channel 150 and GoTV channel 102. Aquaba Magic, dear. Enjoyment and kazankasa. Now available on DSTV Access and GoTV Plus. Aquaba Magic, Ghana's most loved storyteller.
And still there never seems to be a single penny left for me.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet.
New division and free zones office. So good morning, Martin. Good morning, Dominic. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Winston, and good morning to your listeners.
Hope we are all doing very well.
Very, very well.
Lots of people, have lots of concerns about other issues. We'll get into all of those issues, but, we know this is the Tax and Good Governance Month, so it's important we start our conversation from Tax and Good Governance Month. We will end at, the taxation of foreign incomes of Ghanaians, what that means, the justifications behind that. But first, let's start with the Tax and Good Governance Month. What's it all about?
Okay, thank you very much, Winston. Yes, so Tax and Good Governance Month is a month that the GRA set aside every year to educate taxpayers and also sensitize them on the importance of filing and paying their taxes. And we have always set aside the month of April as the Tax and Good Governance Month. The reason being that if you look at the Income Tax Act, that is 2015 at 896, it requires that a person who earns income should file his or her tax return not later than the 30th of April every year for the year gone. So because April 30th is the last month for the filing of the return, we'll try to use that month to intensify our education and campaign, just encouraging people on how important it is for them to file their tax returns on all income that they earn. And talking about income, a person's income can either come from employment, business, or investment. And like you have rather said, including foreign income, which I believe will go deeper into it in the course of the conversation.
Exactly. We're talking about income and person. Is it, person as in corporate body, as in those who have businesses, or all of us, say, I, Winston Amwa, I also need to file my tax return?
Okay, so when we talk about person, we're talking about individuals. And individuals, it can either be an employee or somebody who's doing his own business, a sole proprietor. We're also talking about companies. That is companies that are registered limited liability companies. We're talking about partnerships. We're talking about entities and then organizations. So eventually, all those who are registered with the Registrar of Companies, formerly the Registrar General Department, to do businesses, are all required to file and pay their taxes.
And all those who are employees too?
And all the employees. So we'll talk about individuals, employees, and then sole proprietors or self-employed.
I mean, I'm curious. Somebody will ask that question. I mean, I work for somebody. Taxes are paid on my behalf. So you know everything. Why must I walk into your office filing with returns, really?
Okay, if I would take that, your employer is required to deduct taxes from your employment income and pay on your behalf. But your employer may not know whatever businesses you are doing or other incomes you are doing aside the employment income. From here, you may be invited for a program and you charge. You earn income over there. You may have an investment. You have a house you have rented out. You are earning investment income over there. Your employer cannot file on your behalf. So the law requires that every individual is responsible for filing his or her personal income tax. So you will have to consolidate all these incomes that you are earning and then file the return at the end of the period, which is April 30th.
Okay. So, I mean, let me just get a clarification well. Somebody's also asked himself, why must I file my returns? What do you tell that person?
All right. So it is by law. The law requires that every person who is earning income should file his or her tax. It is through the filing that you can also assess the benefits like the reliefs that you are supposed to enjoy. If you are a VAT registered person, it is the filing that can enable you to take inputs or deduct the inputs from your output tax and then be able to know what you are supposed to pay. It is the filing that also determines the exact amount that you are supposed to pay. You may not know what you are supposed to pay exactly. So the filing is where we are able to get the information about you and know that this is the income you have earned. This income is taxable at this rate, and therefore you are supposed to pay this exact amount. If you don't file, we may not be able to determine the exact amount of tax you are supposed to pay. And it's also a civic responsibility for every person who is earning income to file his or her tax returns.
Great. So we'll get to how you can file your taxes, but let's look at, you've talked about some of the rights. Let's look at some of the rights of these taxpayers who come to file their tax returns.
All right, thank you very much. So as a taxpayer, you have the right to be treated with the necessary courtesy. We must give you that due respect. You have the right to presumption of being right, because unless otherwise, whatever information that you give to us, we must treat it as it is. Then you have a right to confidentiality, that whatever information that you give to the Ghana Revenue Authority will not be disclosed or made known to anybody unless required by law or only for the purpose of statistics, which will not have any impact on you. You have the right to claim overpayment, assuming that you have overpaid your taxes in a particular period. When you file your returns, then it is determined the money can be refunded to you. So the taxpayer has so many rights and obligations. You also have right to speedy dispute resolution. Assuming that you have given an assessment and you are not satisfied with the assessment, you can object as contained in the law, and then the law requires that GRA will do it. You also have the right to be represented by a tax consultant or by even a lawyer or any person on your behalf.
You talked about reliefs, okay? You may be entitled to some tax reliefs. Could you please throw more light on the reliefs that are available so that, at least I'm sure that would convince a lot of people that filing of taxes is not a way of getting money from them, but sometimes also giving them some money.
Okay, so we have a lot of reliefs that one can assess. The first one, we have marriage and responsibility relief, which is 1,200 per annum, and it goes to people who are married and are responsible for their spouses. And if you are not married and you are also taking care of 2 or more children in school, you also qualify under the responsibility relief. We also have child education, which is 600 per child for a maximum of 3 children per annum. If you are a disabled person, you have a relief of a quarter or 25% of all your income, accessible income, to be relieved for you. But that one, you have to provide social welfare certificate that shows that truly you are a person with disability. If you are doing professional course, the cost, government also relieves you of a tax of a relief of 2,000 Ghana cedis per annum. And all these things, when you file your returns, you'll be able to assess them. If you are taking care of your parents who are 60 years or more, that one too, each of them is entitled to 1,000 cedis, a relief for you to take care of them. So there are reliefs in there that if you file your returns, you'll be able to enjoy. If you are 60 years and above and you are still working and earning income, the law also gives you 1,500 relief at the end of the year. So it is there for everybody who files his returns to assess these reliefs.
And let me quickly add to the relief. We also have mortgage relief, which is very, very important. That if you are a resident and then you take any loan to either buy or build your first house of residence, all the interest that you pay on that mortgage loan is given to you as a relief.
All the interest?
All the interest. So if you go either to a bank or an estate agency or a home financing company, and then you get money or you acquire a house, the principal is borne by you. The interest that you pay, the law allows you to deduct that from whatever income that you earn before the taxes are collected, and it's quite huge. That one, there's no limit. As long as you can prove that this is the interest I'm paying on this particular mortgage, it's also given to you as a relief.
That's great. So, folks, you know what to do. It's not all about you come so that we get, GRA will take more money from you. Sometimes it actually will help you to even get money from the state. I like that bit. But how do I file my tax returns then? Because there's a lot of concern about the process. Tell us how we can file.
Thank you very much. So, yes, filing your tax returns is quite a simple process now. We have an app that is a taxpayers portal. That taxpayer portal is available on App Store, on Play Store also, and you can also download it into your laptop. What you do is very simple. If you are not already registered on the app, on the taxpayer portal, then you need to first of all sign up. And in signing up, you need just some 3 basic information. You need your tax identification number. And if you are an individual, your Ghana card number is now used as your tax identification. So once you have a Ghana card, it means that you have a tax identification number. Then you also need to provide an email where a message can be sent to you, and probably a phone. Now, when that is done, you set up, you will be made to create your own password. Then you can then go into the system and log in with your password. Then when you go into the system, it has many information, but for the purpose of filing of tax return, there is a portion that says file return. Now, when you go to the file return, then there will be a form that will be dropped down for you to complete. Now, because it is almost time, when you go into the portal, it will tell you that you have a responsibility to file your 2023 income tax return by 30th April. So today being 18th, it will indicate that you are left with 12 days. So it is highlighted that you have 12 days more. So you just click on that. You put in the necessary information in terms of the income that you earn and all other reliefs as we have talked that you are entitled to. The system will automatically calculate the tax based on all this information that you are provided. Then, if you are an employee in particular, and then your employer had been paying on your behalf and have provided, you have provided your Ghana card number, which is your TIN to them, then the system would have been automatically crediting you whatever monthly deduction that have been made. So when you now click, the system will calculate the tax and deduct whatever taxes that you have already paid on a monthly basis in advance. Then it will either tell you you have an outstanding tax to pay or you have overpaid. Now when you finish, you will have to confirm and then you save and then submit. Once you do that, the system will tell you what liability you have or what overpayment that you made. If you have a liability, it will say pay now. If you go on to click pay now, it will direct you to the Ghana.gov platform where you can either pay using Momo. So you do star 222 hash. It will ask you to put in your Ghana card, which is your TIN, and then you can make the payment, or you can also pay using any of the 23 banks that we have across the country.
And in case you've overpaid?
Yeah, if you overpay, the system will tell you that you have overpaid. Then you then have a responsibility under section 66 to 68 of the Revenue Administration Act to apply. So you just apply to the Commissioner General that I have overpaid and need a refund. And it was also something that a lot of people don't know, or they are really not sure that it is done. But the Revenue Administration Act requires that we set aside 6% of the total revenue that we collect in the country to refund money to people. So a lot of people are getting refunds. So once you have an overpayment, the Commissioner General will have to refund to you. The law says that after the Commissioner General have confirmed that indeed you have an overpayment, he has within 60 days to refund the money to you. And if the Commissioner General is unable to refund the money to you within 60 days, then the Commissioner General will have to pay you interest on that money. But you have to first of all make the application.
Okay.
Because that's what the law says.
Well, this morning we're joined by Dr. Martin Yamborigia, who is Assistant Commissioner, Audit Large Taxpayers Office of the Ghana Revenue Authority, and Dominic Nate, who is Chief Revenue Officer, Head Monitoring Domestic Tax Revenue Division Free Zones Office. We're having a conversation about the filing of tax returns, and you've told us that individuals and businesses are all expected to file their tax returns. But also, now you're telling us about, income from and outside income from foreign investment and all of that. Tell us, is that also part of what we're expected to do?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, it is. If you look at Section 3 of the Income Tax Act, it talks about the assessable income of a person. And then under Section 3, it identifies two types of persons. Either you are resident for tax purpose or you are non-resident. Now, when it comes to a resident person, and then to make it simple for individuals, every citizen of Ghana who has a permanent home in Ghana is resident, or any individual, whether you are a Ghanaian or not, who have lived in this country up to 183 days or more, is resident for tax purposes. On that person, the law says that your assessable income is your income from business, employment, and investment, either accrued to you in Ghana or elsewhere. So what it means is that once you are resident, regardless of where the income is earned, you are supposed to pay tax. Now, if you read Section 111 of the Revenue Administration Act, it tells us that a person income from a foreign source is subject to tax in Ghana. And this had been in the law since 2016. It was under the Income Tax Act 2015, which took effect from 1st January. So it is not new. But what is making it new is that you, the person who earned the income, you are the person who was supposed to disclose and tell us that I've earned this income from a foreign source, I have to pay. If you don't do, then GRA was somehow handicapped in knowing that you have earned a foreign income.
Okay.
But thankfully, we have signed an agreement. There's something we call Common Reporting Standard. We have signed an agreement with over 170 countries that now requires that all these member countries are supposed to provide accounts, details, and balances of residents of various countries to them. So if you are a resident of Ghana and then you hold any foreign account outside, that information is now made available to Ghana. And we started receiving that information in 2021. So we have that for 2021, 2022. So every year they now provided that information. What it means that if you do not voluntarily come to now disclose, we now have an opportunity to know that you have earned foreign income, and we can assess it. And that is why we are encouraging people to now come. So it is something that has been the law, except that we didn't have the data to know who is earning income outside. We now have data to know who is earning income outside. And we are saying that please come and voluntarily declare. Other than that, we will proceed to make your assessment based on the information that we have.
So just let me get the clarification again. You're saying that all Ghanaians who have a permanent address in Ghana, wherever you earn income, you're supposed to pay some of it to the Ghana Revenue Authority, by extension the government of Ghana.
That's correct.
So if, for instance, and what constitutes permanent address?
Yeah, so you say you have a permanent home.
Permanent home. What constitutes permanent home?
Okay, permanent home means that, for example, I'm from Tongo. And everyone knows that I'm from Tongo. If I travel, there's a place in Tongo that they can go and point and say, okay, this is Martin's house. I have a permanent home. Even if I decide to live somewhere.
Your father's house is including your father's house?
My father's house is my permanent home. Okay. I may have built a house here. The house belongs to me. I'm not saying, but everybody knows that this is why when I come home, this is where I'm going to be. The only exception is that if I am not in the country for a continued period of 365 days, then in that case, I will not be considered resident, even if I have a permanent home. But once I have a permanent home, if one day I happen to have found myself in the country, for tax purposes, I'm considered resident because I have a permanent home in Ghana.
Okay. What about foreigners who come to Ghana, stay in Ghana, work in Ghana for about 182 days or more?
Yes.
For those foreigners, what happens to their global source of income?
Yeah, so they are equally supposed to pay, because wherever that you are supposed to indicate where you are resident. So in opening that account, you would have been required to indicate your country of residence. So if you indicated Ghana, because at that moment you were going to be in Ghana for a period of 183 days, then that will also, in fact, the information that we got to interest you, most of them are actually foreigners.
Now, these foreigners that you talk about, the 183 days, is it continuous, or is, if you add in total?
It's aggregate in a year. So you might have been going and coming, but within the year, let's say from January 1st to 31st December, if you put the number of days you have stayed in Ghana together, it will amount to the 183 days or more. It might not necessarily be continuous because you could have been traveling and coming, but at least within that period where you have found your returns, the total number of days that you have lived in the country is more than the 183 days.
So in that case, their global source of income
is supposed to be taxed here.
Is supposed to be taxed here.
Yes.
How about entities, which so foreign entities, which have offices in Ghana? What happens to them?
So we equally have information about them. So their offshore account have also been given to us. So if you are registered in Ghana, then in opening the account, you would have been asked to indicate where your office is, where your corporate office is. So if you indicated that your corporate office is in Ghana or it's a branch and it's in Ghana, then under the common reporting standard, that information is also given to us. So the information that we have at the moment at our disposal is actually for individuals and then entities as well.
And you say a lot of this information that you have, more of it is non-Ghanaians?
Yes, they are non-Ghanaian, but they are resident in Ghana. They are non-Ghanaian, but they are resident in Ghana. So in opening that account, they indicated that they are resident of Ghana, and they have given it to us. In fact, we started contacting most of them last year. We have already even raised assessment on some of them, and then we are also inviting some of them to come. But what is very good, and for the purpose of education, is that because this is something that many people didn't know, we want to encourage voluntary compliance. We have a special program that we call Special Voluntary Disclosure Program. Now, under this Special Voluntary Disclosure Program, we're sorting it as SVDP. We are saying that if you on your own will now come and tell us that, okay, I've been earning this income, but I was not disclosing. I want to come and disclose and pay my taxes. Then you pay the taxes. Section 74 of the Revenue Administration Act has penalty for providing false or misleading information. So if all this while you were earning income from outside, but you never told us. That means that you have not been given us the correct information. That amount to provide false or misleading information. There are penalties, both monetary and then we could also be imprisonment. So we are saying that if you can come on your own and disclose that information and pay the tax, the penalties will be waived, and then you also be immune from any prosecution. And if you do that before any officer of the GRA comes to do an audit on you, that is where you are. But if you wait until we come and tell you that, oh, this is an income that you have earned that you have not paid tax, then the necessary penalties will be imposed.
Let me just get this clarification. So you're saying there's a dispensation. Yes. For persons, let me understand whether there's a dispensation for persons who conceal income, including income and outside Ghana in the past. When they come, you say they will not pay the penalty.
They will not pay the penalty.
But they will pay them,
the principal.
The principal.
Tax. Yes.
So you're looking at from what period?
For whatever period.
So since the passage of the law?
Since the passage of the law. So from 2016 to date, if you come and make that disclosure, we'll be very glad on it since the passage of the law.
If they don't come?
Yes, so if you don't come, for those who we have their information now, we have to make the assessment on you. But you forfeit the privilege of having the penalties waived. And you could even be prosecuted for that because it's an offense under the tax law.
I mean, let's talk about, the sanctions. If any person conceals income, including income and outside Ghana. Mr. Nate.
All right. So Section 78 of the Revenue Administrative Act says if you don't comply with the tax law, you have some penalties to pay. 1,000 penalty units or up to 2,500 penalty units. A penalty unit is 12 Ghana cedis, so you can multiply that. That is the first aspect. The second aspect, Section 73, says you should file your return. If you don't file your return, a penalty of 500 Ghana cedis and then 10 cedis every day. So imagine you are supposed to file these returns from 2021 and you have not filed. And every day 10 cedis, 10 cedis. By the time you multiply the number of days and every year you see the amount involved. And also Section 74 that my boss spoke about earlier, failing or falsifying or declaring wrongful declaration is a deceit of public officer. You are not providing the necessary information, and it also has the penalties ranging from 100% of the tax involved. If it is deliberate, if it's found to be deliberate, it's 100%. So if the tax involved is 1 billion, then you are going to pay another 1 billion as a penalty. But if it is not deliberate, it's by error, then it's 30% of the tax involved. So these penalties are punitive, and as he said, we can even prosecute you, and you can go to jail for that.
I see. And let me get back to you, Dr. Yamburiga. So talking about the foreign income. So let's say there's a company that is registered outside Ghana, has its offices outside Ghana, but holds a lot of its meetings in this country. So, in a year, it has quarterly meetings. All of it are held in Ghana, for instance. Must that company also pay, money to the government of Ghana?
Thank you very much. Yes, that is very true. So if you look at the definition of who a resident company is, it talks about a resident company is a company that is registered under the Companies Act in Ghana, or a company that has its management and control exercised in Ghana. And like you rightly said, let's say a company is in Cote d'Ivoire, but for the second, I know when Cote d'Ivoire was having that war, a lot of them still had their company, but they were holding business here. They came here, they rented hotels, and they were taking major decisions here. By virtue of doing that, it means that you are resident, because business is about taking decisions. So if your management, your key or core decisions are taken in Ghana, then that makes you resident, so you are supposed to disclose. Now, one good thing about this foreign income or tax on foreign income is that we have something we call foreign tax credit. So whatever tax that you have paid outside there is credited to you on the tax you are supposed to pay in Ghana. So it's not like you are going to pay tax there and pay again in Ghana. It is the same income that you are paying the tax on. So you have paid tax, assume I earn income from outside, let's say 100,000, and I paid a tax of 10,000 on it. What the law requires is that I will include that 100,000 as part of my income in Ghana and I'll be taxed. But after the tax is determined, that 10,000 that I have already paid outside will be given to me as a credit. So if there is anything at all to be paid, it is the difference between what you have paid and what you should be required to pay in Ghana that you are going to pay. So it's not as if you are being taxed outside the country and taxed inside the country.
So let me just get this clarification. So if, say, where you operate, I mean, outside the country,
yes,
if their tax is, say, 20%,
yes,
and in Ghana is 25%,
good,
how much are you paying?
You pay only the difference of 5%.
Okay. If their tax is 20% and in Ghana is 20%,
you don't pay anything because it's the same.
If their tax is, say,
35
and in Ghana is 25%,
then you will not be given a credit because Ghana will have taxed you only on 20%. So you'll be given a tax credit up to a maximum of the 25% that you are going to pay in Ghana. So eventually you are paying nothing, but we don't give you a refund on a tax that you have paid to a foreign entity or a foreign government or not Ghana. The only instance where you have to pay is where the Ghana tax rate is higher than the foreign tax, then you pay the differential.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is why it is global. It is just for compliance. And in most cases, you may not have anything to pay because you have already paid tax on that income. But it is on you to be able to prove that, yes, this income was earned. I had paid so and so tax on it. I'm including it in my income in Ghana. This is the tax I'm supposed to pay in Ghana. But this is the tax I've already paid. And that is given to you. And it is not, if we have a double taxation agreement with that country. With this, in our law, it is something that is in our law, that you don't need a double taxation agreement with another country in order for you to claim that foreign tax credit. Because we are taxing you on a global source, to be fair to you, whatever tax that you have paid on that income, disclose the full income, but after determining the tax, you will have to take that amount as a credit.
And this income from foreign investment is both for CIT and PIT?
CIT, PIT, so it could be an investment income, it could be a business income, or it could even be an employment income. Somebody can be in Ghana and be employed to work outside, particularly now that we have virtual work. It means that you still have to disclose that income and then pay the necessary tax on it.
Great. Before we go, we've talked about the sanctions. How will the pay-as-you-earn deductions be credited to the individual's ledger?
Yeah. Okay, so the moment you deduct from somebody's salary and you are filing with GRA, we request that you attach their Ghana card number or their TIN to the deductions you have made before submitting to GRA. When you file with that information, automatically the taxes that you have deducted from them will be credited to their Ghana card. So we encourage employers that try as much as possible to get the Ghana card numbers of your employees. If they don't have it and they have TIN, which start with a P, you also do well to feed that into the data that you are submitting to GRA, and then automatically the deductions will be credited to them.
And just to add to that, before you close, and for the sake of those who probably in the past have not provided their TIN to their employer, and the deduction was made, but they were still paying tax, we want your employer to give an extract of the tax that you have paid. Then you submit it to your tax office. So after you have filed your return, because the liability will be automatically calculated, but the payment can only be credited to you if it has gone through the system. So in a situation where your Ghana card was not given, and therefore for the whole year, you haven't had your taxes credited to you, you can give that extract of the taxes that you have paid, and then GRA will pass an adjustment to clear you of that balance. Because most people, when they file, they will realize that there's a liability. And the reason why there's a liability is because what your employer had been paying had probably not reflected your personal income because you didn't provide your TIN to them. So that one you can do adjustment for now. But we encourage people that going forward, let your employer have your TIN, and then when they are making the monthly payment, once the TIN is there, the system will automatically credit the payment to you.
Thank you very much, Martin and Dominic. But before you go, anything you want to say finally, starting off with you, Dominic?
All right. So we are encouraging all Ghanaians, wherever you are, whether you are in business, investment income, or employment income, try as much as possible to file your returns, especially those with foreign incomes. If you have a dispensation up to June to file that, voluntarily come and disclose. If you don't, now that we have the information from all the countries and we come after you, you lose the opportunity of assessing the waiver of the penalties and you'll be made to pay with the penalties. We don't want that to happen to any Ghanaian. Come forward, voluntarily disclose whatever you have earned, and then we take it up from there. Thank you.
Finally, Martin.
Yeah, so I would say that tax is the major source of income for developing any nation. So if we want to see our nation develop, then everybody should take interest in fulfilling their tax obligation, and we should encourage people to also do it. Because once we're able to generate money enough in our country, there'll be no need for us going outside to borrow and putting us in an awkward position. So most countries that have developed have done through because the citizens are very religious in paying their taxes. So I want to encourage every Ghanaian to be very religious in fulfilling their tax obligation so that we'll be able to generate money internally to develop our country. Thank you very much.
Great, but before you go, so the filing of tax returns, the deadline is end of April.
Yes. End of April.
30th April.
Yes.
Failure to do so.
So failure to do so, you have an instant penalty of 500 Ghana cedis. Then for each day that the default continue, be paying 10 Ghana cedis, 10 Ghana cedis. If at some point you don't, the Commissioner General reserves the right to prosecute you, to compel you to file the tax.
Folks, you know what to do. Just go and file your tax returns. You can do that in the comfort of your home. Just get onto the taxpayers portal. But in case that's difficult for you, what do you do?
Well, you can always contact our GRA offices and then you'll be assisted. But it's had been very efficient since we implemented it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Martin Yamburigia, who is Assistant Commissioner Audit LTO, and Dominic Nate, who is Chief Revenue Officer, Head Monitoring Domestic Tax Revenue Division, Free Zones Office. We're glad that you made time to join us this morning. This is the Super Morning Show. More after these.
Ain't it sad? And still there never seems to be a single penny.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
The memories will be with me forever. When you win your problem, yeah, yenye bisuda. Mekano matinina, nanso dama. Samna kano na wa ya meyo. Samna kano.
Kofi.
Asamna kano na wa ya meyo.
Kofi.
Kojo.
Kofi Kinata.
Kinata. Menyanko kwapia.
What's all about the tree?
Kinata. Now, Efie love. You know, all of us were excited about Efie love. Now, Efie broken heart. About SMC.
When I'm a
goodness.
When you book, she do love kitchen, my Philip pepper soup, love chicken, to for yakets offer.
Love new.
Light out on them. Light out on them.
Oh goodness, what a wonderful surprise. Kofi Kinata happened to be in our corridors on his way somewhere, and we grabbed him and we brought him
going
on.
to Hits FM.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can catch him on Hits FM in a very short while. But we thought we'd bring him in here and just tell him how much of his fans we are. We absolutely love your music. And I told him actually that sometimes we take about 5 minutes out of the show to just talk about how much we appreciate your music.
Just give me fans.
Yes.
We should give you fans. You know, I'm going to tell him, you know, last time we went to former President Kufuor. And when we got there, he asked him a very simple question. He said, Akwano weng? Wo. Mshi weni ma we yes uni. Then a bow to my two side era the Begistian. Oh, is here? He can tell you if I'm lying or not.
Oh, goodness.
And so it tells you how creative, you know, the young man is. And we are all fans. We've been listening to his song. So we just decided to let him pass through and continue doing what he does best.
Kofi, listen, we often have this debate here in the studio about how, in spite of your obvious, you know, songwriting and singing talent, you are actually arguably the best rapper in Ghana.
Oh no, on country.
In your
Oh no, can be.
Okay, contribution on your competition. Yes, you feel your competition, but like a cribunde, Obia unique, Obiali and no Biana no Kofole Amon.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's very difficult to rank people who are doing art.
Yes.
Right? But listen, Kofi, your EP is out. Kofi.
It's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
Yes.
Just one song from
Out
the EP.
of the EP.
Okay, so what can we expect from the rest of it?
A whole lot. You know, when it's a single track, people will normally want to dance with it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to, I wouldn't say waste time, but you wouldn't want to delay them, trying to tell them certain things. I'm the only person who does that. It's a single track, and excuse me to say, I'm making sense, and it's not danceable, and you have to like it, because whatever I'm saying,
it touches you, right?
Yeah, you can relate. But this time around, it's an EP of 7 songs, which your EP into pressure. I wouldn't say pressure, but I didn't even have danceable songs on it. But later I had to put one song inside. Even that one, you'll be dancing and thinking. So it was a whole lot of, let's say, I was free. The creativity was more. The spirit come because I relaxed. The moment I act, but start only say advice. Another fans and see a penny day no spirit big in art and spirit no home. It spirit na nearly a more pure on art no. But the moment I start there, fans and see day. Oh no! Now I you cannot do it. This one no or spiritual like. Mankasana Malaya mad, you know, like within from Kofi Kinata, you know. Oh, you who? Mankasa me and I probably say, no, you put a song selections why a war. Because Mundrimbe a drop no for secondary prisons on my bonnet title, no, on your drop no. Ya fan come for the Kofubo Sudo do me
No, I don't believe
the next one, so yeah, the back.
So one day we will get to hear secondary prisons.
Oh yeah. You know, EP Baba on the test what test. If Kofu anticipates more at us on this album, then you do hope
okay.
EP songs of my thing.
Yeah, that's EP.
Thank you so much for stopping by. We love your music. We cannot wait for the EP to drop, but we will entertain ourselves with Ify Kuma Broken Heart in the meantime. Thanks for updating us on the status of the relationship. Coffee Kinata, everybody. speaking at us stopping by.
DJ Black says we're doing the interview like
somebody and
some uncles and their nephew.
Yeah, we have invited. Oh yeah. Are you okay? Where did he? Continue. Okay, continue the good work. Okay, yeah. God will be with you. Okay, and this uncle too doesn't give money.
Unfortunate. Anyway, you guys were the uncles. Me, I was his cousin. All right, so it's 9:17, and we promised you that we would tell you a lot more about what we intend to do about this doomsday situation, right? And that is how it always turns out. When the government can't do the job, we step in. We have the conversations that result in the solutions. Okay, and that's exactly what Joy News is doing tonight on the Joy News channel, on Joy FM and online. Okay, it's a very simple thing. We are having a national discourse on how to end doomsday. All right, so the most necessary and relevant voices will be part of this conversation. We'll be joined shortly by Evans Mensah, who will be the compare this evening, and he'll tell us a lot more about what we can expect. But before that, let me remind you, you can escape to Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, Jirapa, Dubai. We've done it. We know how good it is, and we certainly encourage you to check it out as well. Okay, it's a place to relax, to unwind and re-energize, and of course it is a great way to get away from the stress of the south. It's a thing, southern stress. It's a real thing.
It's real.
Yeah, listen, you get an unforgettable safari experience, so that means amazing wildlife, lions, hippopotamus, zebras, ostriches, so many more. You got water sports as well, jet skiing, and you can go on a boat or a canoe ride if you prefer. And there are so many family games to keep you excited. Great tourist attractions in the Upper West region, all thrown in to your package, okay? So you get to see the Mushroom Rock, the Slave Caves, and many more. So escape from the south, escape to the north, escape to Royal Cozy Hills Hotel at Jirapa, Dubai for an unforgettable safari experience. Call 050-169-4280 or 024-88-44463, and you can make your reservations on these numbers.
Well, secure your ownership in CalBank today. Increase your shareholding in CalBank PLC if you are a CalBank shareholder by taking up your rights in a renounceable right issue at 0.29 per share. To do so, visit the website rightissue.calbank.net. Update your profile and make payments to take advantage of your rights before the offer ends on the 26th of April 2024. You may also visit any CalBank branch to invest. For non-shareholders who wish to become owners of CalBank, visit your broker and start the process of becoming a shareholder of CalBank. Take advantage of this rights issue to increase your shareholding today. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. CalBank, forward together. And so that's what you should remember, that you can visit their website, rightissue.calbank.net, and the offer ends on the 26th of April 2024.
Did you know that MTN Momo now has an app? Yes, MTN Momo has a brand new app specially designed to make your Momo experience easier, convenient, and faster. Just download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store on your smartphone and look out for the blue and yellow icon. It's that simple. Momo app allows you to view your statements, pay bills, and so much more. Use the app for your Momo transactions and enjoy 100% bonus when you recharge using the Momo app. So go on, download the Momo app now and start transacting with a flex at no data cost. Just Momo it everywhere you go.
Now don't forget to go to kingdomstoreonline.com to pick up your favorite stationery, quality office essentials, equipment and furniture. They will deliver to your home or office in very good time. You get free delivery if you're in Accra or Tema. You can pay via Momo for whatever you buy. Terms and conditions do apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Now you're looking for a freight forwarding company to help to handle both your inbound and outbound shipments? If yes, then look no further, because IAS Feeders offers a wide variety of international freight services, which include air freight, sea freight, be it less container load or full container load, customs clearance and documentation. Our international operations link more than 200 countries, supported by extensive domestic networks in all key markets, and offer a range of fast and direct freight services to suit your needs. We have dedicated staff who have in-depth knowledge in our local custom clearance processes and procedures. IAS FedEx pre-finances freight pickups up to an agreed threshold for our clients. Terms and conditions apply. Please contact us now for free consultation on international freight services and customs clearance processes. Call 0501605,000 or 0501631,000. With IAS Ghana, your freight is firmly secured.
Now you're looking for the latest gadgets, home decor, and also appliances, fashionable clothing, Kojo, or the most appetizing food to enjoy. Now join us at the Junction Heydays to explore, shop, and enjoy with family and friends from now to the 5th of May, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and shop up to 70% discount. Junction Heydays Kids Weekend with Playwright, and also 2021, that's the 20th, 21st, 27th, 28th of April, and the 4th and the 5th of May. Cultural performance is happening live on the 20th of April. Choral performance is actually also happening on the 21st of April. Aerobics, games, health screening with the Catalan and MX24 TV and live band. Winston. Now it's all happening on the 27th too. There'll be lots of fun for the kids, including face painting, boat ride, bumper cars, and a picture with your favorite cartoon characters. The Junction Mall Heydays. It is big. It is big and better. It will certainly be big and better too. Follow us at the Junction Mall GH on Facebook and Instagram, or call and WhatsApp us on this number 0540-221-774 for more information. Now the Junction Mall, join, explore, shop and enjoy. Join, explore, shop and enjoy. So this is happening, as you know, from the 20th, right? So a couple of days from now, you sure should be participating.
Most definitely.
Two days, from Saturday to the 4th or 5th of May. A lot of exciting things happening there. Yeah, 2 good weeks of excitement. Entire family will be from the fifis to the opinion. Everybody is in charge. Yeah. Even some of them will get something to do, like face painting. Or boat ride.
Some the boat there on
latest gadgets. He wants a home decor and appliance, and you are interested in that, right? Since you have 2 phones, you can get a 3rd one.
Why do people have 2 phones?
In the era of SIM-less and eSIMs.
I mean, why? Even back then, when the eSIMs and even these dual SIM phones didn't exist, why did people feel they needed more than 1 phone number on which to be reached?
There was a time that smartphone batteries were not reliable. So you needed the other one they call YAM as a backup. Mindful of the power crisis we had some time ago. But now I don't know the excuse that some of them have been giving themselves anyway.
It's such hard work to carry more than one phone around with you.
Some of them are threatening me, but in all fairness, you know when somebody meets you and say, "Oh, this is my WhatsApp line."
Yeah.
Ostensibly saying that there's another number I have, which
I'm not giving you. Anyway, that's
well. These days, what you see is that people actually have YAM, and the YAM is supposed to be the one they receive calls on.
Oh, okay.
And then the WhatsApp line is just the smartphone, and they just chat with you.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what they do.
So 1 for call, 1 for WhatsApp.
Yes.
It's been difficult to well, anyway.
Anywho, listen, we've got to talk about this, the big national dialogue to actually tackle this doomsday problem, because nobody else seems ready or able to. So we'll do it ourselves. But we'll talk about it after these messages.
Morning Show. Last night, I received the news, as all of you have received, that upon all the troubles we are going through and trying to survive this phenomenon that they have inflicted upon us for the last 3 years, they have decided to increase the price of fuel by 9%. How uncaring can you be? This is the government that said, "I care for you." Where is the care? Don't you have any empathy for the suffering of our people? You have to increase in this period where people are trying to buy diesel, to run generators, businesses and individuals. This is your thank you to them. to increase further the price of petrol and diesel and other fuels. And this is why we are saying this is the most uncaring government.
Dive into a new era of news consumption with myjoyonline.com, your go-to destination for cutting-edge journalism, giving you the most credible stories from business to politics and from sports to entertainment. Myjoyonline.com introduces an upgraded news website meticulously designed to empower you with an enriched browsing experience like never before. Experience the future of news browsing with myjoyonline.com.
Think about it. You can either go out to watch one game at your local and pay for the bumpy, stuffy ride there. Then the food. Then the drinks with a 12,000% markup. And a new team jersey cause some drunk spilled red wine all over you. Or you can pay once right on your phone and watch 42 live Premier League games over a whole month. For unbeatable value for money entertainment, there's only one way to go. GoTV. Love it.
Morning Show. Clad in red and in loud chants, hundreds of people took to the principal streets of Kumasi to demand a load shedding timetable from the Energy Ministry and the Electricity Company of Ghana. Their major concern is that the current erratic or intermittent power cut is affecting their businesses. Some of them want the Energy Ministry and the ECG to immediately release a load shedding timetable.
All we are asking Nana Akufo-Addo is to give us power, that's all. Apart from that, there's nothing he can do for us. He should just give us power so we can go back onto our businesses and do whatever we want to do. That's all. So what we are telling Nana Akufo-Addo, the ECG, GREDCO, and all the independent power producers, that is that we need power. We need power. Businesses are collapsing. We need power.
Leader of the group, Jerry James Suka, while addressing the protesters, says President Akufo-Addo has failed in the energy sector. He says the mismanagement of the sector has led to the current intermittent power cuts being experienced nationwide.
The mismanagement of electrical power has resulted in frequent and prolonged power outages, commonly referred to as doomsday. These outages disrupt economic activities, leading to reduced productivity and increase operational costs for businesses.
And now, doomsday no criteria first, no, because here pers shadows na kia dia hu kwa ebe fa so a ye de be adwuma. Umasi esisu na adum. Eduma na crash. A crash a project awakoye nyina na asai. The thing the nim say ye bedum light in this time. It edu wa umasi ne adwuma unim say e bedum to over stop no. Say unim wonu to say why you so hard drive. Udum pebe crash it. It say you nyuma say it ye catch aban no. Say light na wo ye no feche. Say nim say light private nurse so throughout a day.
But the NDC has also been sharing some concerns. According to them, President Akufo-Addo is failing to listen to the concerns of the ordinary Ghanaian, especially traders who depend on electricity to make sales.
We are demanding that His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, who is paid with my sweat, who is paid with my taxes, at least have some iota of respect for the people of Ghana and especially Ashanti-man, and at least let us know when we will have light and when we will not have light. The energy minister told us that we should publish our timetable. So we are here to publish our timetable. We are here to tell them and serve notice that tomorrow we are taking the lights of Flagstaff House and we are giving those shared energy to KJT Market. We are taking the light of Baumier's house and we are giving it to Asawase Market. We are taking that of Napo and we are giving it to Atonsu Market. And if they can survive the 3 days without light, then they will know and understand and appreciate the pain we are feeling, that the doomsday is collapsing our work, is collapsing our businesses.
These are traders and hundreds of people who joined the protest on the principal streets of Kumasi from Aloga to Amekom to demand a load shedding timetable. With candles lightening up the streets of Kumasi, they want the ECG to immediately release a load shedding timetable. For Joy News, my name is Nana Boachi Dankwa-Yado, Kumasi.
The challenges that the people of Ashanti and indeed of other parts of the country have had to endure in very recent times over the supply of power. And I can only thank you for the patience you have exhibited in the face of these challenges. The presence of this project in the Ashanti region and the improved electricity supply it will provide imply that we must promote even further the industrialization of our country.
Two on the Super Morning Show. Thanks for staying with us. And look, tonight at 6 p.m., a national dialogue will ensue right here on Joy News and Joy FM and on all our digital platforms. And the end game is simple. We're going to actually figure out what it's going to take to solve this doomsday problem. Evans joins us on the phone to talk us through what is to come. Evans, thanks for making the time. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
Right. Now, just before we hear more from Evans, let me remind you to prepare to immerse yourself in a dynamic assembly of entrepreneurial minds during the Ghana Entrepreneurship Week, with over 2,500 esteemed dignitaries expected at the book launch of Nana Dr. Michael Ejikumado's Fundamentals of Entrepreneurship, Books 1 and 2, and the Ghana Entrepreneurship Exhibition, which is on the 2nd of May at the Accra International Conference Center. Now, as part of this week-long celebration, you get to explore 2 days of entrepreneurship seminars. That's 29th and 30th of April at the Mikado Conference Center, Laboni, where you can engage with other like-minded business owners. To participate in the entrepreneurship exhibition, the book launch, and the entrepreneurship seminars, please call 0508 110 755 or 059 240 9091.
So, Raymond, I'm sure you remember these days, those times when we used to have programs like By the Far Side.
Yes.
And Cheche Kule.
Cheche Visa.
And Kida Fest. What was Aaron saying out there?
He didn't come to meet it too.
Yes, I'm surprised
I said he's been watching it on YouTube.
Okay. We have copies on YouTube now.
Yeah, I mean, there are some elements
So
of that.
these were great programs for children and families. Those times, if they read your letter on Cheche Kule,
you'll
do assembly
superstar.
And then, they will acknowledge you.
Yes, superstar.
I think I was in class, and one of our mates got his letter read, and then the whole day we're singing his praise. Anyway, well, we're bringing back, those vibes with Emerging Worlds, a special storytelling and fun fair event for families by Bamboo Heritage in partnership with Joy FM and the Ghana Export Promotions Authority. In these digital times where children are so used to the screen, always wanting to play games and watch cartoons, you need a good balance of physical and outdoor engagements. Introducing Emerging Worlds. And the maiden edition is themed Our Homeland, Ghana, featuring exciting theatrical acts on Ghanaian history, along with food, games, art, crafts, and many more. All Ghana style. I'm laughing when you teach these young ones Ghanaian history. I was in house and my son said, "Daddy, so Kwame Nkrumah founded Ghana." And I said, "Yes." "Where is he?" I said, "He's dead." So he's not alive.
But I should tell your son we have Founders Day.
No. Which one is that?
Founders, not founder.
Okay. And we have Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Day.
Yeah.
All over the world, one person leads.
No, this one, we are talking about
the
founders.
The one who leads is the one who is acknowledged. The one who leads is the one who is acknowledged.
Okay. No.
The
history you are teaching your child at home is contrary to the history the state is producing.
Right, but that the state decides to teach its own history. It's not the state. Elements within the state.
I see.
So, happening at Editorials International Arts and Craft Show at the Papaya Recreational Village, Ebri.
Okay.
You've been there?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic place.
Yeah.
Kojiasa has not been there yet.
I have. Built like a castle.
Yeah.
Yes, I went there for a friend's birthday.
I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to be there. It's on Saturday the 27th, Sunday the 28th of April, and Wednesday the 1st of May at 2 p.m. each day. Rate is 100 cedis regular. With special family packages, just dial *714*11*20# for tickets. Imagine Worlds at Edinkra International Arts and Craft Show. Pimpina.
Nana.
Pimpina.
Nana.
CCC.
Montreal Nanako.
Oh.
Tata bongo. Bunkito, bunkito, bunkito.
I've forgotten the rest. Old age has become the problem for me nowadays. Now, get back to living your best life at the Trust Sports Wellness Festival. Join us this and every fresh Saturday starting May 4th, 2024 for aerobics, health talk, and also networking and more. The venue is the Trust Sports Emporium, Bukum Boxing Arena, and Forecourt. Entries free. Just call these numbers 0599745705 or 0594925114 for further information. Don't miss out on the healthy fun.
A mommy, a papi, a boom boom fire.
Which is it true?
That's how I know.
You sure?
Yeah. That's how we used to sing it. Ask whether that's how it's supposed to be sung.
Because
we don't know. But that's how we sang it.
That's how we sang it.
Because you know Kojo will have renditions that are unknown to many.
Oh, this one is easily recognized. All right, listen, let's bring Evans in on the conversation about tonight's national dialogue. Evans, tell us, what is the end game here? What are we hoping to have achieved by the end of the national dialogue tonight?
It's simple, really. I mean, everybody's struggling with the erratic power supply. I haven't had power overnight. As you can hear in my voice, I'm not as excited as you guys in the studio. You're sitting in your nice air conditions, and I'm home right now without electricity. So the fundamental objective is, so first of all, what really is happening? What is the challenge? But then once we sort of laid out, everybody tells us it's financing. We don't have the monies to buy the gas into the country. But then, linked to that, if you speak to ECG, they will also tell you that obsolete infrastructure, they need to upgrade. Again, it comes to financing, finding the money for that. So we know a fair bit of why we are where we are. But what really are the solutions to it? If it's financing, how do you find the money to sustainably finance the fuel, the infrastructure, etc., considering that we are under IMF program, and also considering the energy sector debt, which is one of the biggest burdens on the drains on this country. We haven't found a sustainable solution to it, even when we created vehicles and taxes, so we raise the tax to clear it, it still accumulates over time. So we need to pause at some point, pause for thought, and re-examine the solutions that we've been implementing over the years and see if they are working, first of all, and if they aren't working. And obviously, considering that we're back to a certain level of doing so now, and everybody attests to it, the president, for example, yesterday acknowledges it, it shows that the solutions that we've been implementing, they've not been as effective. Okay, so if it's not been as effective, what can we propose now? What can we change about the current strategies and interventions to make them effective? And that, in essence, is the objective for tonight. Reassessing the entire value chain when it comes to the generation, the transmission and distribution of power, and proposing radical solutions, reviewing the solutions already that we have, and proposing radical new ones that then we can put together in a form of a communique, which we always do after each national dialogue, submit to the authorities and monitor over the period, such as we did with Poison for Gold. So that's really his objective for this. We need to pause, reassess, re-strategize, and see how we can implement these new radical ideas that we expect will be put forth today going forward.
So who will we be hearing from?
So we're expecting to hear from the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, and they've been doing some really intense work recently, as you know. So we want to put them there so we can hear their thoughts. Beyond there's a regulatory function, what else can they themselves, based on their monitoring of the situation, can they propose beyond what we currently do? So PULC, we expect Andy Japamesa will be joining us, former Deputy Energy Minister. We're going to be having the GRICO also join us. We're going to have former Chief Executive also join us. We're going to have the civil society players in the space, Dr. Steve Mateo, Mr. Jantua. We're going to have Parliament. The Parliament's chair and the ranking will both be on the show. And as you know, last 2 weeks they met with the entire the players in the entire value chain when it comes to generation, transmission, and distribution. They've learned quite a bit. They've crafted their own report. We're going to get the first insight into what that report says. That report is going to be placed before Parliament, the plenary, for a decision to be made. If you join us tonight at 6, you get to hear what exactly they had penned in that particular report that Parliament will be considering. So a very comprehensive list of experts, but also duty bearers to explore the subject.
Now, obviously, the president was talking about, the situation yesterday when he thanked Ghanaians for, their patience. Are we going to be testing the pulse of the public, how they feel about the way these things are being handled by the duty bearers?
Absolutely. And that is why prior to today, we launched the Doomsday Diaries, which you've been playing over the last few weeks. And that was, in essence, designed to gauge the pulse, but also look at the impact on ordinary lives, businesses, etc. And we've done a few of that. So at the beginning, and this is really all about people, it's all about the impact that the cycle of doomsday has been having on the economy over time and affects real lives. So yes, that is the central part of this. And that's where we really begin, right? Peeling this off, beyond the politics and the back and forth accusations and counter accusations and what has happened and what hasn't happened, real lives. So we'll start with that. And that's where we bring the views of people into the conversation and hear their own stories. People have their own plans as to what we can do as a country to fix it. So we'll definitely be tapping into that public view in this particular conversation too.
Right. Listen, we can't wait. Finally, a conversation that will actually point in the direction of solutions. We appreciate your efforts in this direction. We will certainly all be part of tonight's event. So we'll see you there.
Thank you, Kujo.
That's Evans Mensah, head of our politics desk. He will be manning the podium tonight as he moderates this national dialogue. All right, peeps. I mean, look, we've already talked a lot about how, in the end, the solution always comes from us, because the people we have actually tasked to solve the problem, they are signaling to us quite clearly that they either can't or don't want to. So, look, how can the average Ghanaian who wants to be part of the solution, what can they expect tonight?
I actually think that at least they'll be told the truth about what's really happening. And sometimes, we have taken for granted that being told the truth about the situation is a step towards the solution. Let me give it's not a perfect example to use. Some people believe that it was 630 transformers that was the biggest headache we have in this country.
Yeah.
I kept saying that if you have 33,000 and 630 are old, they don't say that they are actually faulty, or say they are old, they may be overloaded and all of that. You cannot blame your entire problem on the 630. But some people still insisted that, what do you mean by that? The people who are in charge of the sector say there are 630 transformers. That is why we have a big problem. But 630 out of 33,000 was just less than 2%. Being told the truth right from the beginning helps. So that, Kojo, truthfully, and I've heard that gentleman who says, I work in a printing shop. I stay very far away in Kaswa. It costs me a lot of money to transport myself to my office. I sit down the whole day. I don't have power to print anything. I don't get money back home. I can't work. So I'm going empty-handed, but I have to incur costs of transportation in and out and eat in the office too.
And if only somebody had told him.
Yes. He would have wasted the money, and now transportation is not a small thing. It is the reason why last month you were told that it was the biggest contributor to your, what they call, inflation.
Yeah.
So at some point, he would have planned his life better life outcomes. Even though he's accepting the condition that power supply is not stable. But we were all in this country. We fiddled around. Oh, no, there's no need. If you think that there is a doomsday, provide their own timetable. This one too was saying that, we are discussing with regulators. I mean,
the nation.
At least the experts who have been speaking at different times will all come together, and hopefully honest public servants will equally join the conversation and say, ladies and gentlemen, remember, I got this from sometime, was it last year? Yes, last year. When a deputy VRA boss had told me, now listen, where we are going, by 2027, we might have difficulties with generation itself. So we are looking to ramp up. We are looking for alternatives. We are looking for all the things that are available to us to use. It's scared because, oh no, we are working towards that. And what you should be worried generally about is whether or not we are able to make the right investment to get there. What happens with us is that we are only using the band-aids. So the time we get to the point where we need to do the major investments, then we can't do it. Then we are full-blown on our hands.
Yeah.
We can't manage. We don't know how to deal with it. Then that one we come out and we're telling people that this is what's happening to us. If we are forthright with our own people, and we know that, and we're not even talking about the cost of the power, we are talking about making it available. Indeed, for industry to survive, they need cheaper power. All over the world, the options that are being looked at are not just the provision of the power, cheaper power so that they can survive on it. That's why they explore the basis. For example, most countries will make nuclear their base load so that they have hydro supporting that. That's also cheap compared to the ones that are dependent on thermal and the other fuels that are a bit more expensive. We are not at the point where those conversations are even what we are talking about, investing so we don't have a crisis in the future. We are at the point where we are dealing with one emergency after the other. So by the time we have a bigger crisis on our hands, we don't know how to deal with it. And we have been doing this since the 90s. And we are the same wonderful set of engineers, the same brilliant kind of people that we have in the various units. Some of our engineers, they are comparable to their colleagues all over the world. So why is it that we fail to plan all the time? Because if in my lifetime I've not seen at all, I saw Doomso 2006 in Legon. I saw it. Subsequently, there was a 2014 one. Live and colored, long one, almost 3 or 4 years. One would have thought that coming to such a state will never happen again. Because never again should have been what we said after the one in 2014 or so. But we are here again, and it appears that in the next 5 or 10 years, it's like our history with the IMF. But what people are thinking for us. So I am expecting that by the time we finish that conversation tonight, we will not only be mapping out strategies for the future in a way that my children will not be saddled with the same thing that I've complained with basically all my adult life. Because it doesn't make sense. It's not how evolved societies behave. Your colleagues elsewhere, they are exploring hydrogen gas. We are discussing gas in this country, LPG gas in this country. I was sitting in some hotel at Virginia, and the people were the news were saying that gas is causing problems for some children. A study. So mayor says we are no longer going to use it. Use the electricity to cook in your homes for the people because it is cheap, and it's also not a problem. I hope you get the point. So that's the conversation we're having in Ghana. It's not even available. It's too expensive.
We are still weeding with hoe and
I am
cutlass.
just worried about the kind of society we are living when others are advancing and we are not making any advancement. Every time we are dealing with a small problem, the emergency problems. So if you are doing emergency all the time, you don't think about the future. You see how we plan our lives.
Look, the president yesterday talked about achieving universal coverage of electricity by end of this year. We're now less than 90%. We want to increase that to 100%. But it would interest you when you would ask the question, so in achieving 100%, what plans have we put in place? And it would be the same. In fact, years ago when we were talking about, Doomsaw from 2012 to 2015, part of the problem we gave was the fact that other people had been connected to the national grid and that had increased our demand for electricity. By that time, we anticipated that going forward, we may need more electricity. And so we had what today we said was excess capacity and has become a political war between the NPP and NDC. Take or pay or take and pay.
That's true.
This is my point.
And because we waited to do emergency assembly.
This is my point. Today, in today's Ghana, we should not be going through the problems we're going through. Because in today's world, as far back as Kwame Nkrumah, he toyed with the idea of nuclear. Kwame Nkrumah.
He didn't toy with it. He actually set us on a path to it.
Kwame Nkrumah thought about nuclear. Today, under Professor Mills, we came back and said, okay, maybe we need to, get back to this whole idea of, going nuclear. Today, there's a shortfall of gas. And we can see what is happening to us. The point is that countries are planning 30, 50, 100 years from now. These are countries that think about the next generation and not the next election, as President Akufo-Addo promised us, but has not lived up to it.
It's a pity.
Because if you want to be serious, if you want to govern, you actually put in place mechanisms that would make the lives of the people better. So you know, for instance, that, look, we want to industrialize. And I agree with Otumfuodo Asantehene. Why? Why is government so every day we have built this? You built which factory? And what is the impact of these factories that we talk about? If we put in place the right policies, if we have the right tariffs, you don't need to beg people to establish in your country.
That's true.
Yeah.
If I don't be chasing you to do that,
they will chase you to establish in your country. We don't need to beg people. I say, of course, electricity is what people call natural monopoly. So if the state controls it, no problem. But the state must control it well. In this country, why is PURC on ECG's case? Why? Why is PURC directing ECG to do a lot of things? Has anybody asked him or herself why the ministry doesn't come to the aid of ECG?
Yeah.
Part of the problem we're faced with today is because the Ministry of Finance has refused to pay. Because ECG also has problems accounting for the monies they've collected.
Yeah.
Why? Why must that be the case? Look, let us get to work. We say politics is the art of the possible and the attainable. Leaders solve problems. They don't explain them.
You know, I said something during Dumso and Mahama. I asked, who advises the president? I was curious. I was wondering, because all the discussions we were having on air pointing to this, the solutions that were needed. Because you remember back then, there was some deception around the real cause.
That's true.
So we were having conversations and asking, okay, so if this is the cause, then why not that? Why don't you do this? Why don't you make a phone call to this country and say, look, bring this, plant and we'll pay you and just provide that. So we were having all these conversations and I was saying, who is advising the president? When he wakes up in the morning, this problem, does it weigh on him to the point where he needs people to come and sit at the table and tell him the solution? Who are the people he calls to that table? And what solutions are they giving him? And why? We are back. We are back at the same point, where the problem is our problem, not their problem.
Yeah.
So we are sitting here imagining that they should be figuring it out. But they are not. Because this one, the people that we are bringing together tonight to have this conversation, are you saying that if the president were to bring those people together around the table, they wouldn't solve this problem? They absolutely would. But is the president doing that? Has he brought anybody around the table to have this conversation? Is he bothered by it? We can't say he doesn't know anymore. We can't say that. We can only ask, is he bothered by it? He has signaled that he knows. Right? In Kumasi, he has told us all that he's glad. He is grateful to us for our patience. So he knows. But is he bothered? Who is advising him? Who has he called around the table and said, how do we fix this? Who are the people in that conversation? My concern is that one of them is the energy minister. That's my concern. And he thinks that asking for a timetable makes us evil, which means we are wishing evil for the nation. So what solution will come from him? Anyway, what do you think matters more than what we think? We've got just about 4 minutes to go on the show. We thank you so much for staying with us. We appreciate it. We're back tomorrow with the Friday edition of the show. Until then, please stay with Joy for the duration. My name is Kojo Yagson. I'm the morning man.
My name is Winston Amon.
Raymond Aqua.
Have a good one.